Oh, here we go. Here we go. We're back. We're back. We just got kept out, I believe, last time from Osawa. Yep. So, let's do a quick review of what we have open. So, Osawa's a keep out. Tama, we have not started yet. Achi, we have not started yet. Kano, we have not started yet. So basically, we can do everything except Osawa. So the world's our oyster once again. Let's see. Who should we patronize? Let's patronize Kano. Kano, he's kind of our main character. We might as well give him some love. Following Kano's directions, Stanley drove toward the crime syndicate's hangout. There was a good chance that this was where Maria was being held. Traffic was practically non-existent, and they made good time. They cruised down Miyamazuzaka, then past the train station toward Dogonzaka. All the while, the two men stared out the windshield, neither inclined to make conversation. They arrived at the Shinsensho intersection. Take a right here, Kano said. You nervous? Stanley asked as he made the turn. His own tone was calm and level. Kano gave no reply. If this syndicate really was holding Maria hostage up ahead, he and Stanley might wind up putting her in danger showing up there. If it came down to it, Kano wondered, could he count on the man next to him taking the hostage's safety into account? He doubted it, but there was nothing he could do about that now. They arrived at the syndicate's head hangout sooner than Kano anticipated. It was a multi-tenant building in Tomigaya, southwest of Yoyogi Park. The Black Lodge pub. Oh no, it's another reference! The ratty building looked like it might come crashing yet at any minute. The Black Lodge sign out front looked deliberately ominous. Yeah, don't go in there. You might get caught in there for like 30 years. Oh my goodness. So the Black Lodge is another reference to the 90s thriller, supernatural, drama, comedy, Twin Peaks. It was a kind of evil supernatural location that people end up going to, and it has like a creepy checkerboard floor pattern and like red curtains and stuff, and guys dancing around talking about how the gum you like's gonna go back in style. Oh, the Japanese do love Twin Peaks. Kano knew the place as a bar frequented by expats from various countries, as well as a hotbed of criminal activity. I'll take point, Stanley said. You back me up. He pulled a handgun from his suit pocket. It was a compact Glock, a model frequently used by the FBI or CIA. We got three entries to read now, so let's do it. Glock 17, a semi-automatic pistol developed in Austria for police and military use. Notable for its incorporation of large amounts of polymer plastic in its design. A certain Hollywood film included a line of dialogue claiming that the Glock would not show up on airport X-ray machines, but since the gun barrel itself is made of metal, this is assuredly not true. Oh, man, what film is that? Is that, it's not Die Hard 2, is it? That's my guess. I'm gonna guess it's Die Hard 2, the one in the airport. That I think wasn't originally a Die Hard movie, if I remember right. FBI. The Federal Bureau of Investigation, an American investigative bureau established by the U.S. Department of Justice in 1908, has authority in matters involving crimes that cross state lines, as well as threats to public order, such as espionage and terrorism. Generally speaking, the FBI conducts its activities within the United States. And the CIA. The Central Intelligence Agency, one of the principal agencies of the U.S. intelligence community, reporting to the Director of National Intelligence, possessing considerable budgetary resources and a vast network of highly trained personnel. The CIA carries out intelligence gathering and covert operations primarily overseas. In recent years, the organization has been devoting major efforts to counterterrorism. Alright, there we go. Recent years, by the way, being the year 2008. So, just a nice little time capsule for you. Kano drew his own gun, and the two cautiously made their way inside. They immediately heard some sort of ruckus from beyond a wooden door at the far end of the hall. Please don't let this be what I think it is, Kano thought to himself. Sweat beaded on his hands as he gripped his gun tighter. He heard the sound of glass shattering. Then came the sound of something heavy falling to the floor. Maria! Ignoring Stanley's previous order, Kano rushed ahead, kicked down the door, and stepped inside. What? He walked right into a massacre. There were nearly a dozen bodies sprawled out across the floor. He thought he recognized them all, the men who had participated in the repeated attaché case handoffs. Each appeared to have been stabbed to death. Had these guys all turned on each other? No, that couldn't have been the case. None of the victims was holding a knife, which meant that whoever had killed them must still be hiding nearby. No sooner had Kano come to this conclusion than he heard a muffled cry behind him. Stanley! The American was sprawled on the floor, face down. Kano rushed over and knelt beside him. Stanley was dead, stabbed through the back. Without an instant's hesitation, Kano stood up again, gun at the ready. He scanned his surroundings, but there was no sign of the killer. But that was impossible. Stanley had been killed mere moments ago. Someone had to be here somewhere. Oh, there was somebody behind him. Out of nowhere, he felt someone press the tip of a knife into his neck from behind, right at the base of his skull. How? He hadn't noticed anyone coming up on him. There wasn't even anyone else around. Nobody but the corpses scattered across the floor. Wait, the corpses? Kano hadn't checked them. Hadn't checked to make sure they were all really dead. With his last thought, he realized that had been his fatal mistake. There's a woman. Bad end. Yeah, that was kind of an obvious bad end. I thought they were dead. Alas, there's nothing to be done for poor Kano now. He wasn't prepared for whoever is wielding that knife. Sometimes it's best not to rush things. Kano and Stanley might not have had their run-in with the killer if they turned up a bit later. There is someone who can cause a traffic jam at 1310, which should keep these two from meeting such a grisly end. I like it. In the past, we've had to make sure Kano gets somewhere quickly. Now we're having to delay him. Nice. All right. So Kano has been bad-ended. Achi, Tama, and Minorikawa are open. Let's go with Achi. The man with the cane crooked his finger on the trigger. Achi stepped in front of Hitomi, shielding her with his body. If you want to shoot her, you have to shoot me too. Suddenly, the assassin's head jerked forward. He pitched face first onto the pavement and lay still, revealing a foreign man standing behind him. Oh no! In one hand, the stranger clutched a metal pipe. Hitomi, Achi asked. You know that guy? Hitomi's eyes went wide. It's the man from the Scramble. The one who told me to go to the van. Wait, one of the kidnappers? Why would he help us? I'm not sure. The newcomer fixed his eyes on Achi. Hey, man. Achi approached the stranger. I'm not sure what's going on here, but thanks for the assist. Whoa! The man took a sudden swing with his pipe and barely managed to dodge out of the way. What the hell? Once again, Achi made sure Hitomi was safely behind him. Guess I gotta let my fists do the talking. Achi quickly adopted a fighting stance. Be careful, Hitomi warned, her voice trembling. Don't worry, it's just a pipe. I'll just snatch it away from him and make him tell us where your sister is. This is so anime. They're like having this whole conversation right before the fight. Prepare to get mean cleaned, yeah. Achi judged the distance between them carefully as he stared his opponent down. Metal pipe gave this thug considerable reach. One solid hit from that thing and Achi wouldn't stand a chance. He needed to end this in one punch. One punch, man! One punch, Achi! The crook seized him up for a moment, then lunged forward to attack. Now! Achi sidestepped to avoid the incoming blow, then delivered a vicious left hook to his adversary's jaw. The man went down hard. Achi gazed at his fallen foe, flexing his knuckles. The thing about guys who bring weapons to fights is they always let themselves get too cocky. Does that say skill? That says skill? I love it. He looked the guy over. The man had a tattoo peeking from one of his ratty sleeves. What do you die? Come on, buddy. You can't clock out just yet, Achi said. Get up. I've got a few questions for you. He knelt down to grab the man by his collar. Halfway to his feet, the man pulled a gun. Oh, he got Art the Clown from his breast pocket. Whoa, didn't know you were packing heat. Achi took a quick step backward. The man's eyes brimmed with rage. He looked ready to pull the trigger at any moment, but he didn't get the chance. Oh no! The man with the cane had regained consciousness. Back on his feet, he trained his own gun on the foreigner. The foreigner quickly shifted his attention to the other gunman. Oh no, you don't! Achi darted forward and kicked the kidnapper in the hand as hard as he could. The gun went flying from his grasp. With a low snarl, the man took up the metal pipe again. Rather than go for Achi, however, he charged the man with the cane. What the? Achi watched in astonishment as the two men grappled. Now's our chance! Grabbing Hitomi by the hand, Achi broke into a run. Okay. They ran for a long time, finally stopping to rest in a quiet municipal park. As they sat, catching their breath, Achi sensed a new tension in Hitomi. She hadn't said a word since their latest escape. She has to die, Achi. It's for your own good. In his mind, Achi replayed what the man with the cane had said. So, Hitomi? Achi hesitated. About what happened back there. Yeah? She sounded like she'd been far gone in her own thoughts. You gotta believe me. I have no idea who that guy was. I've never seen him before in my life. He must have been saying that stuff to confuse us, to trip us up. Yeah? Hitomi said again. Is that what's been bothering you? Huh? Now it was Achi's turn to go monosyllabic. Well, Achi, you're kind of famous around Shibuya, right? I don't know about that. Way back when, he'd been the leader of SOS. Nowadays, he was just some guy who picked up trash. There was nothing to brag about. When someone's famous, it's not unusual for someone else to recognize them and know their name. So, yeah, I was surprised back there, but no matter what that man may have said, I trust you. I mean, look at how many times you've put yourself in danger to protect me. Hitomi sounded pretty resolute. Achi was glad that she believed him, but that raised another question. So then, how come you've been so quiet? I've just been thinking about things. Like, what that man from the Scramble might be after. It was true that his actions didn't make a lot of sense. Yeah, he seemed more interested in taking out the man with the cane than going after you. Maybe it was a case of mistaken identity, maybe there's bad blood between them, maybe mistaken identity? Maybe it was a case of mistaken identity. You think so? Hitomi said. Sounded doubtful, and Achi couldn't blame her. It did seem pretty unlikely. No. For whatever reason, the foreigner had deliberately gone after the man with the cane, and it certainly hadn't been to rescue Achi and Hitomi. The enemy of one's enemy was not necessarily one's friend. The man with the cane and those foreigners. Would Achi and Hitomi really be able to escape them all? And if they did, would they ever find Hitomi's sister? They heard a child cry out behind them. Turning to look, they saw the kidnapper rushing toward them. He had knocked over a little girl who was in his way. No, not again! Oh, the face plant, it's horrible! Oh, I hate it. No rest for the weary, Achi sighed. Yet again, he and Hitomi sprinted away. Do you think he took out the guy with the cane? Hitomi's words came between panting huffs. Maybe. Achi glanced back at their pursuer. What? There was someone else with him. Now there are two of them! Now they were being chased down by I made the joke. They were being chased by two foreigners. I like this better when we were just running from one guy with a cane. In a one-on-one fight, Achi was confident he could keep Hitomi safe. One-on-two, though, that was a different story. One guy might get a hold of her while he was facing off against the other. He had to make sure they lost these creeps, no matter what. Keep out? Oh. Alright, we gotta continue somebody else's story first, I guess. So, it's either Tama or Minorikawa. So, let's do Minoru. We're going in decreasing order of silliness right now. Right. Left. Minorikawa sprinted down center guy, dodging between oncoming pedestrians. Out of my way! Can't you people see I'm in a hurry? He stole a glimpse of his watch as he ran. It was just after 1 o'clock. The Burning Hammer sales demo would be getting underway any moment now. He could probably get an interview even if he showed up late. Still, he wanted to get to the venue ASAP to get a feel for things before they got started. The best time to scope out an event was before it started and after it ended. This was something he'd learned from Toyama. Everything he knew about journalism, the publisher had taught him. It had been a combative education, Minorikawa learning despite himself as the two men constantly butted heads. Oh, give me a break! What's wrong with my article? Minorikawa shouted. His voice was loud enough to carry throughout the editing department. Shut up! I told you to rewrite it, so rewrite it! Toyama, sticking to his guns. Minorikawa recalled the scene from the days when the two men had worked at the same newspaper, and Toyama was his boss. At the time, Toyama was the copy editor for local news, known as the Red Pen Gatekeeper. He would go around checking young reporters' copy like mad. Due to his vigorous efforts, a great many articles never made it to the page. What's wrong with it? Show me what's wrong! All of it! How could it be all of it? The workers stared, keeping their distance as the pair screamed themselves red in the face. These arguments had become a regular occurrence, regular enough that everyone had learned not to try to intervene. I poured my heart and soul into this piece. Go back and read it again. I could read it over and over and it'd still be the same thing. A load of self-important claptrap. Now go calm down and write me a more neutral piece. Neutral, taking neither of two opposing sides. The media typically seeks to adopt a neutral stance in reporting the news, typically. Oh, really? Frequently, however, biased reporting still results in one-sided thinking, taking hold amongst the general public. In the end, it is up to the individual to make an objective assessment of any news event. Calm down. You must be joking. I write what I feel in my heart. That's the one thing I refuse to back down on. This game is hilarious, yes. That's a funny joke, game. That's a really funny joke. Then it's the one thing that'll keep getting your copy rejected. Aren't you the one who told me to be bold and daring with my writing? Yeah, I did. But I don't remember telling you to write me garbage. By now, Minorikawa and Toyama were practically at each other's throats. Still, despite these almost daily shouting matches, Minorikawa never resented Toyama, not really. How could he write a piece in a way that would shut Toyama up? Trying to figure that out was how he had developed his skills as a reporter. Up until he quit his position at the newspaper to start his own publishing company, Toyama had been a stubborn old man in the finest sense of the term. Stubborn old man, now a dying breed in Japan, the sort who'd be inclined to use knuckles before words to remedy a child's bad behavior. Oh wow. Inflexible, but still emotionally brittle, their signature move is to drive a wayward kid out of the house with the exclamation, "You fool! You're no son of mine! I disown you!" Only to wait a little while, go find the son who's crying down by the river and calmly murmur, "Come on, your supper is getting cold." Okay. But then, in order to keep his company afloat, at some point he had abandoned all his ideals and principles. It was disgraceful. Just disgraceful. That is oddly specific. That is very oddly specific. Thinking about it made Minoru Kawa's blood boil. It rankled him to know that such a pathetic remnant of a man had been such an influence on him. He reminded himself once again that he needed to wrap up his current job as soon as possible. And by now, Minoru Kawa was getting close to the demo site. He increased his speed. He wound up barreling right into somebody who was walking into a knick-knack shop. What on earth is that right on the right? So it's a pair of legs that end in a hand with a sign. I don't know what the sign says. Oh my. Okay, anyway. Knick-knack shop. A newly opened general variety store. The place is primarily a secondhand shop with posters inside proclaiming things like, "We'll take what you don't need," and "We buy computers at tops prices." The comedy, the comedy, like, dead squirrel pose that Minoru Kawa is doing right now. It was a girl about high school age. She jumped to her feet, then snatched Minoru Kawa by the collar. "Hey, watch where you're going!" she snapped. Her upper body strength was impressive, to say the least. I know it's real, but it looks like some AI-drawn horror. It really does. It looks like something you'd get, like, from ChatGPT 2 years ago or something, or Mid-Journey. The chokehold she had on his neck made it almost impossible for him to breathe. He had to do something fast. "Take this!" He drove a punch right into the girl. Sorry. He bowed his head in apology. Let's be contrite. Sorry. He bowed his head in apology. He was in too much of a hurry to get caught up in an argument now. But the girl didn't let go. Instead, she tightened her grip. "Look, I'm sorry for not looking where I was going." Minoru Kawa could barely croak out an apology. "Oh, fine. I'll let it slide this once," the girl said. She relaxed her hold with a scowl. "Wait, hold on," she murmured. She stared good and hard at Minoru Kawa's face. "Hey, you're Mr. Minoru Kawa!" Surprised, Minoru Kawa gave her another look. "Miku?" "Yeah! Wow, so you do remember me!" She smiled with delight, apparently forgetting that she'd just been wringing his neck. "Wow, how long it's it been?" she asked. "About 5 years, I think." "You still doing your bonsai stuff?" "Nah," she replied. "I gave that up." Miku had been Japan's bonsai champion back when she was in middle school. Bonsai. The mention of bonsai likely calls to mind elderly hobbyists, but recently the art is attracting more young people, as are other aspects of Japanese-style interior design. Varieties of cherry and maple, smaller than normal bonsai, are becoming popular with practitioners, as are fruit-bearing trees, such as plum-leaf apple. There are even spherical balls of soil covered in moss, shaped to look like cute little miniature planets, with plants growing over their surface. One day, local delinquents had vandalized dozens of Miku's bonsai pieces. Minoru Kawa had met with her when he interviewed her about the incident. "I want to get strong," she had said. "Strong enough to beat those guys up." And so, Minoru Kawa had introduced Miku to an acquaintance of his who ran a martial arts dojo. Well, you've sure gotten strong, all right, Minorukawa said. That's the sort of gal I am. Miku handed him a flyer. I hate local delinquents. Yeah! Local delinquents could be here. It read, what on earth? I just noticed. What does it look like? Like One Piece characters. Like the Mr. Two's group. It read, Ladies Mixed Martial Arts Pub Bride. Okay. A show pub that began as a side venture for a group of female mixed martial arts fighters who were facing financial difficulties. There is an octagonal ring inside the pub, and the rules state that anything goes between the young women who fight inside. Customers are able to take in the fights while enjoying their drinks. First we have the scolding pub, and now we have the MMA women beat each other up club. What is this? Present this flyer for a free drink. All right. It's a place where you can watch girls fight in the ring while you have some drinks, Miku said. That sounds pretty fun, actually. Minorukawa could feel himself being pulled in all the wrong directions by the prospect. What? You freaky. You should come see one of my matches sometime. I'm the reigning champion. Miku beamed with pride. Wait, you're the champion? Yikes. Good thing I apologized when I did. In that case, I'll definitely have to swing by sometime soon. Right now, I'm in sort of a hurry, though. Oh, sure, Miku said. Catch you later, then. She headed into the shop as Minorukawa rushed off toward the sales demo. And before he gets sucked in by this and into a bad ending as a result. And the correct option was well, he did get sucked into the one place that was all like the sumo wrestling place. So I could see it. I could see it. I could definitely see it. Alright. At long last, he arrived at the Nokane building where the event was being held. The wall of by the elevator was plastered with posters about Burning Hammer. Get it or regret it. As seen in magazines, 100% weight loss guaranteed. This is blatantly false advertising. Thank you, Tooltip. I'm glad. I would not have been able to figure that out. I would not have been able to figure that out without you. The messaging was kind of a mess. It felt like they'd been thrown together at the last minute. Minorukawa avoided the elevator in favor of the stairs, rushing up to the event site on the 3rd floor. Emerging from the stairwell, he saw more posters on the wall pointing the way to the sales demo. He followed the arrows to a room deeper within the building. Opening the door, he saw about 50 chairs, most of them occupied by female attendees. There was a stage set up at the far end of the room, but nobody was on it. It appeared that the event had yet to begin. Minorukawa quickly looked over the crowd. Roughly half of the women were somewhat elderly. All of them looked like they could stand to lose some weight. And for some of them, at least, the ship had surely sailed some time ago. Oh, wow! Oh, that's brutal! The crowd gazed at the stage with rapt anticipation. A beverage that allowed you to eat plenty and still lose weight was definitely an appetizing, oh, I get the joke, proposition. Could someone like that really exist, though? Something. Well. Minorukawa, we're just going to have to wait and see. He did his best to get his mind into journalism mode. Ladies, terribly sorry to have kept you waiting. At the presenter's cue, the cat mascot appeared and took the stage. The audience broke into applause. Hey, I know who that is. After waiting patiently for the applause to die down, the cat produced a small box from which he slowly pulled a pendant set with a blue stone. It certainly wasn't a diet drink, whatever it was. Minorukawa wasn't the only one who quickly realized this wasn't a burning hammer sample. After staring for a moment, the rest of the crowd began to fly into an uproar. Quiet! The cat shouted. Taken aback, the crowd quieted down. The cat held the pendant up high so that everyone could get a look at it. Do not take your eyes off of this pendant. If you do, you will die. What? What is going on? Oh, what is going on? I don't understand. Oh. A jolt of panic shot through the room. What is happening? Slowly, the cat began to swing the pendant back and forth. What on earth? This is a bad end, isn't it? Is Tama going to kill Minorikawa? Minorikawa couldn't quite recall what happened. That. When he came to his senses, he'd already pulled a 10,000 yen bill from his wallet. Handing it to the man he assumed was the demo organizer. That is definitely his suit. In exchange, he received a pendant, same as the one the cat had been holding. What on... I've done it! Minorikawa muttered to himself excitedly. This picture... Clutching the pendant in his hand, he could feel the energy it radiated coursing throughout his body. Let's just look at this image for a second. I love it. I love it so much. The cat's monotone chanting from the stage sounded in his ears like a chorus of angels. Overwhelmed by a feeling of ecstasy he could scarcely contain, Minorikawa repeated his words to himself. I've done it! With this, I'll be the greatest writer the world has ever seen. My articles will stir the emotions of the entire human race. They'll laugh, they'll cry, they'll tremble with fear, they'll jump for joy. No longer was the Pulitzer Prize a mere dream. It was practically already his. The Pulitzer Prize, a prize awarded for excellence in journalism, literature, and music composition, named for American journalist Joseph Pulitzer. I'm just laughing because I know this is ending in a bad end, and I love that we still get tooltips. I love it. Active during the late 19th and early 20th centuries, and administered by Columbia University, whom he willed all of his money in order to establish a journalism school. 3 Japanese photographers have been awarded the prize in the past: Yasushi Nagao, Kiyoshi Sawada, and Toshio Sakai. Minorikawa wanted, no, he needed to tell someone how excited he was. This miracle he'd obtained, he wasn't going to just squander it on himself. Oh no! A journalist of his stature needed to share what he knew with all of humanity. He opened up his laptop, he booted up his word processing program, he deleted all of the articles he'd been working on. He knew what he really needed to write. Special edition report on the Miracle Stone, only in 4-Star General Gossip's spring issue. Must-have stone already in many fashionistas' collections. Look out, world. Mysterious gemstone set to change international balance of power. Blessed by the Miracle Stone? Get your hot stock tips here. He looks insane. I love it. The pages originally slated for the pros and cons of security cameras and washed-up screenwriters were instead filled with glowing praise and rave reviews for the Miracle Stone. Never had Minorikawa been more proud of his work. Back at 4-Star General Gossip headquarters, Minorikawa handed his articles to Toyama, who was sitting glumly at his desk. Toyama looked them over slowly. Then there was a lingering silence. Finally he spoke, his voice subdued, but his words crystal clear. Yeah, this is all getting axed. And... oh, it just ends right there. Axed, number 32. Desperate though he was for copy, Toyama still rejected Minorikawa's articles, probably a good indication of how bad they really were. Maybe the Miracle Stone wasn't the breaking story Minorikawa wanted it to be. Tama and her pals really need to be selling Burning Hammer instead. So we got something going on with Tama then. That's amazing. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. Oh. Alright. Clearly, it's Tama time. Yep. They found something worse to sell than burning hammer, yes. Alright, so this was Achi's fault, by the way, for those who forgot. Bottles of burning hammer litter the pavement, shattered into tiny bits of glass. Even if the recycling guy was really careless with the boxes, it shouldn't have caused this much of a mess. It was like someone came along and actually threw them all over the place. Almost like that's exactly what happened. The heck with this thing! I toss away the miracle stone, which has clearly brought me only bad luck. We can't have a product demo without a product, which in turn means I won't be getting paid for this whole fiasco. Okay, we can do this. We can figure out something. I try to give myself a pep talk, but I hear the doubt in my own voice. I try to brainstorm anyway. Finding inspiration is like trying to squeeze blood from a stone. Biblical reference. I rack my mind for the best course of action, and at long last, I arrive at a conclusion. Find something else to sell. Well, we know where that went. I'm gonna have to sell some burning hammer. Somehow or another, I'm going to have to sell some burning hammer. The flyers have already been handed out. People have come to the demo expecting to get burning hammer. I may have to put it into some new bottles, and possibly water it down some, but getting the stuff sold is my only option. My eyes alight on one of the cardboard boxes, and I notice an odd mark stamped on it. Wait a sec. I've seen this before. I recall something Cheery said earlier. This is the sort of thing they'd sell in a 100 yen shops or something. Oh, the mark on the box is the same one I saw at the shop that's selling the necklace. That's it! I can see if there's more at the knick-knack shop. They literally are selling it like a dollar store. Yeah, here we go. Guided by this ray of hope, I head for the knick-knack shop as fast as I can run. Ray. A glimmer. A sliver. The ever-dwindling light in the distance. Point is, there's not much. Oh no, what just happened? As soon as I reach the main road, I crash right into someone. Oh! I love that animation. That's like 1,000 hours in Photoshop work right there. It's Cheery! Oh, hey, you find it? She asks. She makes it sound like it's not really her problem. Not yet, but I think we can stock up at the 100 yen shop. The words are hard to get out when I'm panting as hard as I am. For now, just stay calm and go let the boss know. Got it. Leave it to me. Cheery nods, and I break back into a run. I'm practically praying as I rush into the knick-knack shop, where I immediately spot the cardboard boxes I saw earlier, still stacked up. Yes! I'm in luck! I dive into one of the boxes to check what's inside. It's packed with tiny bottles. There's no mistaking the noxious red liquid inside. That's burning hammer, all right. There's 50 bottles per box, and there are 4 boxes total. Assuming each bottle is 100 yen, including tax, I can buy the whole lot with the 20,000 I've got in my wallet. Mr. Yanagishita said he was selling the bottles at the demo for 15,000 yen apiece. That way, if we sell all 200 bottles, he'll be able to pay back his debts, no problem. Oh, what's the deal with you? Oh no, it's that guy! The sales clerk's eyes go wide when he sees my getup. This stuff! I'd like your entire stock! I point at the burning hammer and the clerk makes an awkward face. I'm afraid that's already been sold. What? You mean like all of it? Nobody in their right mind could possibly want all of this. Yes, all of it, I'm afraid. Well, I'm not gonna roll over that easily. Whether I earn that extra 20,000 or not hinges on whether I can get this stuff. Please, you've got to help me out. I'm afraid it's out of my hands. Then could you get in touch with the buyer? Tell them I'm willing to negotiate? I suppose that wouldn't be an issue, but... Actually, would you mind waiting for just a moment? She said she'd be by ASAP. She? Oh no, it's her! Even as I'm speaking with the sales clerk, a girl wearing a hoodie comes in. She's got a tiny frame and a doe-eyed face. Hey, I've come to pick up something I reserved, she says. This must be the customer the clerk was talking about. Please, pardon my intrusion, but... would you be willing to let me have these diet drinks? I bow extra deep and my costume head wobbles all around. Wait, what? I'll pay you double what they're worth. No can do. I've never seen this brand before. I'm super curious about it. Surely you don't need this many, though. I do. I make my living with my body. This is about how much I'll need. Oh, wow, the sales clerk interjects. What sort of work do you do exactly? I'm a martial artist. Oh, it's her. Yep, it is. It's her. We ran into her a minute ago. I fight at a place called Bride. You might have heard of it. It's one of the more popular hotspots in Shibuya these days. Oh, I know the place, the sales clerk says, brimming with a sudden excitement. That pub where they have cosplay martial arts competitions, right? Hold on, what are we talking about now? What's Bride? I've seriously never heard of the place. It's a nightlife spot where ladies cosplay as anime characters, but they fight for real. Oh, this is getting worse. This is getting worse. Oh. No, I hate it. I've been wanting to check it out, but they've hit their membership cap, the sales clerk explains. Membership cap. At present, the exclusive Bride has already exceeded its allotted number of members and is not accepting new ones. Given the buzz about how both the costumes and the fights are really something to see, memberships that are auctioned off online command quite high prices. No. Oh my gosh. So then, you must be pretty strong, huh? He says to the girl. Well, I mean, I may not look it, but I'm the current champion. The girl proudly adopts a fighting stance. Would you accept a challenge from me? I ask. Yes! I remembered this from when I played this before. A challenge? If I win, you have to let me have all of this. The girl breaks into a confident smile. Do you have any idea who you're dealing with here? She asks. I intend to find out. Oh, wow! The sales clerk exclaims. I have just got to see this! I'm glad to have you making us on. Everything about this is amazing. Well, if you're that set on it, then sure, I accept your challenge. Sweet. We've established our terms. This burning hammer may yet be mine. This girl cracks her knuckles, clearly eager for a fight. I've got to win this. Somehow or another. I have got to. I love that we didn't even get a choice. It was just like, nope, this fight's happening. This fight is happening, and there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, I've got to be good at something. Facing off against this fighter is going to show me what I'm made of. I address my opponent. And by challenge, I naturally mean, let's do rock, paper, scissors. Let's play a rhyming game. Let's have ourselves a straight-up fight. Oh man. I kind of want to see what rock, paper, scissors ends up in. Let's do rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors? The girl goes slack-jawed in surprise. Yeah, and if I win, you have to let me have those diet drinks. Rock, paper, scissors. Sure, whatever. Okay, I accept. Here we go. I ready my fist. 1, 2, 3, shoot! I've lost. We're doing best out of 3, right? What? 1, 2, 3, shoot! I lose again. And I even tried to change it up by throwing paper. Twice in a row. So yeah, we're doing first to 3, right? Huh? 1, 2, 3, shoot! Yet again, I lose. My reverse psychology has backfired. Okay, now that we're done warming up, wanna do this for real? Sure. Shoot! 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 Oh no! Oh no! Oh, bad end! Bad end! This goes on for a good 30 minutes. We've thrown more times than I can count, and I haven't won once. Reverse psychology. Reverse psychology. Even reverse psychology. She throws me every time. I'm terrible at this. Beyond terrible. How can someone be this bad at rock, paper, scissors? I want to keep going until I win at least once, but the girl is pretty clearly fed up. This sucks. But I've reached my limit. Time's up. Right now, there's someone else who's been told that his time is up, and he's in quite a predicament. Yes, it's Junichi Yanagishita. The ruthless ultimatum was issued by none other than Minoru Minorikawa. We can't go to that yet, though, because Minorikawa is bad-ended. Well, thanks for humoring me for so long. I guess those drinks are all yours. I shuffle off, my shoulders slumped in dismay. On shaky legs, I make my way back to the Nakane building. I'm half tempted to just abandon the whole burning hammer disaster, but I know I'd feel guilty afterwards. Besides, after all the effort I put into this, I'd at least like to get paid something. I'm back, I call out casually as I open the door. When I see what's inside, I feel like I've been smacked in the head with a mallet. The demo room is completely totaled. Torn flyers are scattered all over. Most of the chairs have been knocked over. Someone obviously trashed the place. Who the heck did this? I thought I was alone, but then I spot someone lying in the corner. Minoru! It's some guy I don't recognize. Ugh. The man groans pitifully. What's going on? I ask. What happened here? I go over to the guy and shake him gently by one shoulder. Nothing beats a rock? Yeah. Has death come for me at last, then? His voice is a mere murmur. Death is a cat. If you're here to finish me off, then you're welcome to try. But only if you beat me in a challenge fair and square. Huh? I'm not sure what he's on about, but my competitive streak is too strong to let me ignore what I just heard. A challenge, you say? That's right! I challenge you! Rock, paper, scissors! This is a bad end, but I'm so glad I picked this. Rock, paper, scissors! Rock, paper, scissors again. If you beat me, then I am yours to do with as you please. All the vexation I felt earlier when I lost to the girl in the knick-knack shop stirs within me again. I feel like a kettle boiling over. At this point, I don't even care who my opponent is. I need to slay the nagging disappointment inside me. All right, then. I accept your challenge. I hold out my fist. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Shoot! I throw paper, and the man throws scissors. I've lost. I guess I really am. Just no good. At rock, paper, scissors. Or maybe I should say I'm really good at losing at it. I had thought my earlier loss must have been some weird fluke, but apparently it wasn't, after all. Bad. Oh no, we can't reap his soul, I guess? Rochambeau. Oh. Thanks to her epic rock, paper, scissors losing streak, Tama wasn't able to get any burning hammer. Maybe that was to be expected. Seeing as she only ever throws paper, she'd probably do better with some other form of a challenge. Oh my god. Oh, it hurts. Oh, it hurts. I love it. Alright, let's do this again. Oh, wait, no. We gotta go here, right? And by challenge, I mean... let's try the rhyming one. I just want to see what that is like. By challenge, I naturally mean let's play a rhyming game. Let's play a rhyming game! Huh? The girl says. She seems a bit put off by the suggestion. Yeah, I say, and if I win, you have to let me have all of these. A rhyming game? Really? Okay then, really. Silly. Okay then, glisten. Listen, I'm a martial artist. Artist? Oh, that's a tough one. Aha! Smartest! Glow! No, what I'm saying is I'm a fighter. Okay, fighter shouldn't be too hard. I can do this. You just have to not panic. Let's see. Writer! Okay. Scissors. What do you mean, scissors? No! Wait, what the heck is going on? Crap, nothing rhymes with scissors. That's an illegal move! I drop into a fighting stance. Okay then. Shall we fight? The girl grins back at me. Now you're talking. Oh, this is actually going into the fight. The name's Miku, by the way. Challenge accepted. Whoa, they're in the street. Miku and I march out of the shop. Out on the pavement, we stare each other down. So if you win, I'll let you buy the burning hammer, Miku says. But if I win, I get to keep it and you have to pay for it. What? Isn't that a little unfair? If you don't like it, then it's no fight, no deal. I don't have the time to rethink this. Alright. Ready whenever you are. Miku does a little brisk shadowboxing, throwing a repeated 1-2 combination. Shadowboxing, a training technique for boxing, involves practicing strikes, guards, and evasions against an opponent who isn't actually there. Whoa, what's the deal? Is something going on? It's a street fight! A number of people pass by, including a businessman, a couple, as well as some pretty gruff-looking fellows, and some of them stop to form a small crowd. A couple. Achi Endo and Hitomi Osawa, they passed by while running away from some mysterious foreigners. Oh, well, I do believe that will jump us over to Achi. As luck would have it, they soon found a crowd in their path, backs turned toward them. Excited voices rose up from the throng. Whoa, what's the deal? Is something going on? It's a street fight! Street fight. A fight, as the name implies, that takes place out on the street, typically using bare hands and no weapons. Even a bare-handed fight can result in serious injuries, though, which is why they're pretty illegal. Achi clutched Hitomi's hand, good and tight. Whatever you do, don't let go. Without a moment's hesitation, he plowed his way through the crowd. Emerging on the far side of the gathering, Achi saw the main road ahead. Cars were zipping past in a steady stream. What did we do? There were too many cars for them to rush across the street without getting hit. But they couldn't exactly just sit and wait for the light to change. And they certainly couldn't go back the way they came. Their pursuers were getting closer and closer. Hitomi! Achi shouted. We're going across. We're turning back. We're going across. We're going across! What? Dragging Hitomi by the hand, Achi darted out into the street. Moving purely by instinct, he wove his way through the gap between the speeding cars. When they were halfway across, a car slammed on its brakes to keep from hitting them, causing several cars behind it to crash into one another. This is what saves Kano! We just saved Kano, everybody! Yes! The multi-vehicle pileup plunged the roadway into total chaos! As a result of this chaos, traffic in the nearby area will be at a standstill for a while on their way to the syndicate hideout. Shinya Kano and Jack Stanley have gotten caught in this traffic jam. You know what, Kano? We'll be okay. We'll come back to you later. In a matter of moments, the street was clogged with a long line of stopped vehicles. Achi and Hitomi's pursuers remained on the other side and did not pursue. Achi navigates the traffic using pure animal instinct. Yes! Okay. That was crazy. Hitomi panted as she caught her breath. Well, you know what they say. Idle feet are the devil's playthings. Hands. It's idle hands. Whatever, at least they gotten away. No, guilty feet have no rhythm, Achi. That is what the saying is. Come on, let's go. Achi led the way down several twisting side streets before slowing his pace. By now, Hitomi was slumped and panting heavily. He wanted to give her some time to rest, but if they just hung around, their pursuers might still find them. He looked around and spotted a multi-tenant building. The nearest door was open. Bundles of flyers were set out near the entrance. Flyers for Au Revoir, the 22nd performance by the theater troupe The Wandering Angels. It tells the tale of a man named Ryu looking back on his 100-year life as a warrior. The performance features wire action as its major set piece, with Ryu and his rival Shido flying high through the air, doing battle with the magical Muramasa blade and beam saber, respectively. Oh no. It's all Gundam and, like, Ronin Warriors and Star Wars up in here. Achi peeked inside and saw piles of plywood and painted lumber. It looked like this was a storeroom for a theater stage, props, and scenery. We can hide out in here, he said. But... Hitomi hesitated, but Achi gave her hand a little tug. It'll be fine. There's nobody around. They stepped inside the storeroom, and Achi quickly shut the door behind them. "You should probably rest for a bit," he said. There was a wooden platform set up beside a large piece of plywood. Achi picked up a magazine that had fallen on the floor and spread it out atop the platform's dusty surface. "Here, now you can sit on it without getting your clothes dirty." "Thank you." Tommy quietly took a seat. "We should probably turn off our cell phones," Achi said. "It could be really bad if they rang at the wrong moment." The two powered off their phones. Achi took a cursory look around. It didn't look like there was any way in or out beside the door they'd come in through. There was a single window set in the wall, but it wouldn't open far enough to let them through. "Oh, what? Ah!" Tommy let out a quiet gasp. Someone was outside the storeroom. Hachi put a finger to his lips, and Tommy gave a fearful nod. The window's frosted glass blocked any real view in or out. As long as they stayed quiet, they ought to be safe. Suddenly, this is genuinely creepy. Whoever was outside pressed their face to the frosted glass, trying to get a glimpse inside. The blurry visage of the foreigner who'd attacked them was dimly visible. Like the man with the cane before him, this guy was quick to catch up. The man pounded on the glass. Achi swallowed the lump in his throat. If this guy got in, they had nowhere to run. Achi turned to Watomi. Let's hurry out. We'll be fine. Just sit tight. Let's wait. Let's wait. I think we should just wait. We'll be fine. Just sit tight. Hitomi clutched onto Achi's arm hard. Running out to the guy with a gun sounds like a bad idea. "Can I help you with something?" said a casual voice from outside. They saw their pursuer react at once, pulling back from the window. "That's just our storeroom, you know," the voice added. Achi heard footsteps scampering away. The kidnapper had run off. Achi exchanged glances with Hitomi and let out a tiny sigh. There were more voices coming from outside now. "What was up with that guy? I don't know. Ugh. Whatever, let's just hurry up and get stuff tidied up." Man, my throat's raw." It sounded like a conversation between two men. The storeroom door opened and the men clumped their way inside. The men. Tomonori Takaya and Taro Toga, two members of the theater troupe, The Wandering Angels. Takaya is the Wandering Angels star actor, playing the lead role of Ryu in today's performance of Au Revoir, the troupe's 22nd piece. Last night he slept completely naked and caught a cold, leading to the sore throat he has now. I mean, many such cases, right? Toga is the stage director, handling things behind the scenes. He is very irritated that Shinichi Bando, in charge of the props, seems to have gone AWOL, which we know from before is because he is in debt to the Yakuza and they have raided his house. Because, for some reason, this is an important plot element for this game. Oh, man, I love this game so much. I genuinely and truly love this game so much. All right. So what are we getting? Let's grab all those folding chairs over there. The producer said we're going to need a lot more seats all of a sudden. Mr. O'Reilly said that? Go not out for the troops' last hurrah, huh? Beats me, man. In no real hurry, the men went about carting the folding chairs away. They didn't notice Achi and Hitomi sitting silently in the shadows. Not to change the subject, but how come we're using a dry ice machine and not a smoke machine? Maybe that's why my throat's bothering me. Yeah, it's pretty weird. Nobody's even operating it, and it's still drawing a ton of power. Think it's defective? Well, we know it's defective, in fact. Because Minorikawa talked to Achi's dad, Mr. Endo, about it. Achi and Hitomi waited for the two men to finish up. If they were spotted, it would probably cause a scene, and worse still, it might alert the men who were hunting them. Colonel, my ice machine is dummy thick. And the defective fog keeps alerting the foreigners. Once they'd carried off the rest of the folding chairs, the men closed the storeroom door. The foreigner could still be somewhere nearby, though, so Achi decided they should hide out in the room a little longer. God, this blows. I want to get back out there to look for that blue van ASAP, but Nachi trailed off as something occurred to him. Wait a second. Now that's weird. Hitomi looked at him inquiringly. The kidnappers already have the ransom money, yeah? Nachi said. That's right. And then they told you that your sister was in some blue minivan. Isn't that kind of weird? What do you mean? Well, did you figure that your sister was in the minivan by herself? Well, yes. If one of the kidnappers were with her, they wouldn't need to send me to go get her. Right, Nachi said. And yet the fact was that as soon as the kidnappers had their money, they could have let Hitomi's sister out of the vehicle and just run off. There was no point in sending Hitomi to fetch her personally. A look of revelation dawned on Hitomi's face. Oh! That minivan had already left Okanzaka, she said. And it came back while we were there waiting for it, Hachi finished. He thought back to his earlier run-in with the blue vehicle. So then inside that minivan, there had been a bunch of foreigners. I'm sorry, whenever they say that, it's just... There were a bunch of foreigners inside. Which meant... well, we know... Okay, so so our two options are the kidnappers have been trying to ambush Hitomi, or the kidnappers didn't have any intention of giving her sister back. We know, because of the bad end we got last hour, that they're trying to ambush Hitomi. They're trying to take Hitomi. So that's the answer. The kidnappers have been trying to ambush Hitomi. They told her that her sister was in that minivan to lure her to it. And the kidnappers have been lying in wait inside. Do you think they were trying to kidnap me too? That's it! Hachi clapped his hands together. Then they'd let your sister go and demand a ransom for you. And then they'd make her deliver the ransom money for your release. They'd be able to get, like, infinite ransom money by constantly abducting one twin after the other. Not quite, Hachi, but that's pretty close. That's almost like I'm gonna download a game over and over again to, like, to bankrupt the game studio. I love it, man. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. That seems a little far-fetched. Oh, yeah. I guess you're right. Now that she'd said so, Hachi realized it was kind of a ridiculous idea. Still, what if the kidnappers really were trying to kidnap me? Hitomi said. As in, like, they accidentally abducted the wrong twin? I mean, I guess that would have been easy to botch up. Jumping straight to it there, Hachi. That would imply that they wanted me specifically and not my sister. Hitomi paused briefly and thought. Maybe you're hotter than your sister or something, Hachi suggested with enthusiasm. Oh, man. Too hot to kidnap. Hitomi shook her head. That can't be it. If anything, it's the other way around. Compared to my sister, I'm just... Whoa, hey, stop right there. Hachi had to interrupt her. You're not just anything. Please, don't. I'm just... Tears had welled up in Hitomi's eyes. Why'd this have to happen to her? Why not me? Whoa, hey, come on, don't cry. I'm sorry. Cheer up. It's like that song says. Don't just stand there. Wipe those tears away. That one. You know it? Is that Aya Kamiki, who did the theme song for this game and is heavily featured throughout it? Yeah, that's the one. Put your hand in mine. Every single bee's a light. Huh? You know, every single bee's a light. Hitomi let out a giggle. Everything will be all right. Huh? You got the lyrics wrong. It's everything will be all right. Oh, right. Yeah, I guess that makes more sense. I guess. Hachi's mouth curled into a sheepish smile. Remember when this game was about a cat trying to sell some diet drinks? Alright, I think we've laid low long enough, Hachi said at last. Think we should be on our way? He was about to get to his feet when he heard voices outside the storeroom again. Yikes, it was pretty careless of us. Yeah, we definitely gotta watch it. The theater guys from earlier had returned, and they sounded a bit panicked. Theater guys. Tomonori Takaya and Taro Toga, two members of the theater group, The Wandering Angels. Takaya is the Wandering Angels star actor, but lately, in addition to appearing on their stage, he's been taking on TV drama and film work as well. The next role he's slated for is in Sun TV's upcoming suspense drama, Sumo Queen 2. Oh, no! Not Sumo Queen 2! No! It's gonna flop! It's gonna flop! Where he will play the referee who utters the lame line, "Looks like things are getting heavy," upon discovering a victim's dying message is screamed at one corner of the sumo ring. No! Oh. I love this game. Oh, man. Looks like things are getting heavy. I wasn't ready for that. Yeah! It is. It's a CSI Miami opening. No. No. Oh. Oh, I got tears in my eyes. Hang on. Okay. Oh. The layers to this. The layers. Oh, it's like an onion. Oh, it's making me cry. Just like an onion. All right. I think I'm better. Oh. Oh. Heard folks have been messing with the storeroom a bunch recently. Did you hear who's behind it? Some juvenile delinquents. Like a gang? Wow, that takes me way back. All right, let's hurry on back. Achi rushed over to the door. He tried turning the knob, but the door wouldn't budge. Oh, come on! Are you freaking kidding me? He paced frantically around the room, pulling at his hair. We're locked in! And that door was the only way in or out. Achi and Hitomi were well and truly trapped inside the storeroom. This is all my fault, Achi said. It was my idea to hide out here in the first place. He bowed to Hitomi repeatedly. We're never going to be able to find that blue minivan now. Guess we'll have to get someone on the outside to help us, Hitomi replied. She scowled thoughtfully. Oh, is she going to message, Tanaka? They powered their cell phones back on in order to call for help. The big question was, who could they possibly ask? Hitomi, anyone you can reach out to? Mr. Tanaka, I suppose. Tanaka, right. The suggestion didn't exactly thrill Achi. He had no idea what this Tanaka guy was like. Hopefully he was the dependable sort who'd actually show up to rescue them. But somehow that thought made Achi feel even worse. Achi had someone he figured he could call, but he hesitated, uncertain. There'd been a time when he trusted this guy more than anyone, and bailed each other out of countless jams. Oh, Susumu! Nowadays, though, things were different. Hitomi gave Achi a puzzled look as he sat lost in thought. Right, guess I don't have much of a choice. Achi scrolled through the contacts list of his cell phone. He found a name he thought he'd never call again. Susumu. Oh, am I? Oh, media literacy, paying attention. That's me. That's me. I have actually been paying attention to this story I've been reading. Yo. Achi? Is that you? Susumu's voice was low and guarded. Look, I've got a favor to ask you. I'm in a real bind here. Huh? Like, things are ridiculously bad. I thought maybe you could help me out a little bit. You seriously thought I'd help you? Susumu's words were like ice. You messing with me or something, man? Now he sounded a touch angry as well. Painful memories flashed before Achi's eyes. Right then, sorry to bug you, just forget it. But Susumu hung up before Achi was even finished talking. Ouch. No dice, Achi said to Hitomi with a lopsided frown. She looked back at him, her expression a mirror of his own. What should we do? What should we do? I guess we're back to Mr. Tanaka. Guess so. You want to go ahead then? Hitomi tried calling him repeatedly, but Tanaka didn't pick up. By the way, did you notice that the date this game takes place on is 4/28, as in 4/28 Shibuya Scramble? Oh, there you go. That's why that's the number. What could have happened? She muttered under her breath. You think maybe the kidnappers found out that Mr. Tanaka and I have been in contact? Achi shrugged. It looked like they were just going to need to find some way out of here on their own and then maybe look for the minivan themselves. Achi strode over to the door and grabbed hold of the knob. That's quite an angle. He tried giving it a good, sturdy pull. No good. The thing won't even budge. That door opens outward. Wait, really? Achi tried giving it a push. It still didn't open. He kicked it. Oh! The door wasn't nearly as sturdy as Achi had expected. I think I can make this work. He backed up to get a running start and kicked the door with all his might. Hi-ya! The door went flying off its hinges. Oh man, that was way too easy. There it is. Achi stepped cautiously out of the storeroom. He quickly scanned the surrounding area. That's not very cautious to me. That's like just walking out into the street. Achi, come on. There's 2 guys with guns after you. There was nobody in sight. Looks like we're in the clear, he called. But Hitomi didn't come out, nor did she reply. Hitomi? She had her phone in hand, apparently still trying to get in touch with Tanaka. With a tiny sigh, Achi leaned against the wall and waited for her to finish. Well, doesn't look like I'm gonna have any luck, she said. You know we can leave now, right? Are you still holding out hope for your Mr. Tanaka? It's not that. I'm just a little worried. Oh, yeah? Okie dokie then. I'll just wait around out here. Okay, I'll be right with you. Uh-huh. Achi shuffled his way back outside. Oh, no! Oh, crap. By the time Achi could finish processing the thought, he was already laid out on the ground. His jaw hit the asphalt hard. He bit the tip of his tongue clean off. The taste of blood filled his mouth. Ow! I don't think this is gonna end well. A moment later, he took a sharp blow to the head. He was done for. All the energy drained from his body. His mind whirled. His vision grew hazy. His palms were sweaty. He began to drift from consciousness. Back when he'd run with Susumu and the others, he'd never let himself get exposed to a surprise attack. There were plenty of times when he'd taken a punch that sent him reeling, only to spin away and come back swinging. This time, he hadn't even seen it coming. It was his last mistake. Guess I let myself go soft. Achi grimaced inwardly, muttering in a voice no one but he could hear. Bad end? He told me, I'm so sorry. Bad end! Yep. Number 27, attacked by the man with the cane. Achi successfully managed to break out of the storeroom. They'd be knocked out by the man with the cane while he waited for Hitomi. Things might have gone differently if Hitomi had managed to get in contact with Tanaka. Why hadn't he responded to her calls? Maybe something strange had happened at the Osawa residence, or perhaps there was some reason he wasn't able to answer the phone. Well, we'll see about that later. But for now... Alright, we can finish Tama. Oh! Osawa's storyline is a little different now? That's interesting. So, Minorikawa's is different? Okay. Kano's is different. Let's keep going to Tama. I think we need to get Tama. Let's get Tama to where we can kind of taper her off. Plus, we have to watch the cat fight. Yeah. All right. Well, what's the deal? Something going on? It's a street fight. A number of people pass by, including a businessman, a couple, which was Achi and Hitomi running by, as well as some pretty gruff-looking fellows, and some of them stopped to form a crowd. Gruff-looking fellows. Asao Ozu and his underling Yutaro Sagawa, members of the Tenryu Gumi Yakuza Syndicate. The Tenryu Gumi operates a lending firm called Takarada Financing, and these two have been tasked with collecting outstanding debts. Already collected from one client today. Next, they plan on grabbing lunch before heading off to find their next target. It's the two Yakuza guys! So now we know what their names are. Nice. The sales demo had already started by now. I don't have time to goof around here. I watch as Miku starts up her foot. A left jab. She's quick. I can see why she's the champion. Yeah. She immediately follows up the jab with a wide right hook. A type of punch involves swinging the arm in a wide arc to strike the opponent from the side. In mixed martial arts bouts, it is common to see a fighter continue the momentum from a hook to catch the opponent by the arm, transitioning immediately into a takedown and pin. I jerk aside at the last possible moment and deliver a little swat to Miku's shoulder. Whoa! The animation, I love it! She slips off balance and pitches forward. Oh wow, what was that? The crowd had started clamoring. Miku rights herself and gets back into a fighting stance. What the? How? She doesn't seem to know what just happened. Rah! This time I watch as she unleashes a kick with her left leg from a distance. On reflex, I bring up my right hand and adopt a guarding stance. Gotcha, she calls out. It was a feint. There's a visceral whump as a second kick connects, coming at me from a different angle. Whoa, what gives? My big mascot head served to cushion the blow to the point that I barely feel it. Yeah! She proceeds to unleash a string of additional kicks with her left leg, trying to defeat my fuzzy armor. Eventually, I catch hold of her foot. Holding her off balance, I begin to walk her backward, making her hop awkwardly on one leg. Ow! Ah! A casual flip of my paw, and Miku goes whirling through the air. Whoa! Oh! Ah! The crowd erupts into cheering and applause at the spectacle. I like the people in the background. They were probably just told, like, look impressed. Phew, you're tough. Who the heck are you? As you can see, I am a cat. Oh. Oh, she did it again. A wry smile comes to Miku's face. To think a bride competitor would lose in a street fight. It's time to go back to being an ordinary girl. Today is the day I retire. Phew. Good match there. Miku clasps my hand firmly. But hey, I'm just glad that my last opponent was you. What? What on earth is happening? What? I hoised up the boxes of the diet drink. So, how much does this come to? I asked the sales clerk. He shakes his head. Oh, don't worry about payment. You've more than earned it with that spectacular display just now. That was really something. Heck, even I am shocked at what just happened. It's amazing what a little desperation will do for you. So that move you used, that was some Aikijujutsu, yeah? A traditional Japanese martial art that emphasizes learning to anticipate an opponent's first move and instantaneously counterattack. Skilled practitioners can toss and throw opponents with a simple touch. The art predates the development of the more pacifistic Aikido, and so some dangerous techniques still remain. Huh? Oh, I guess? I tilt my head non-committally. Come now, no need to be so humble. I'm a martial arts fanatic. I know my moves when I see them. Knick-Knack shop owner Taisei Yasuda watches roughly 350 martial arts fights a year. He is particularly fond of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and is thinking about studying it himself. There's a dojo he's been eyeing, but he's rather timid, and has thus far only waffled non-committally outside the entrance to the place. He can call it whatever he wants if he's letting me have the drinks for free. This is going to be a lifesaver. Is that all the shopping you'll be doing with us today? He asks. Actually, come to think of it, I do have one request, I say. Sure thing. Could you please not sell that necklace there? I promise I'll be back to buy it later. Sure, no problem. The sales clerk gives a deep bow. I did it. I managed to solve my burning hammer problem. Now, I just got to get back to the sales demo. Oh, that must be awfully heavy. Here, why don't you use that dolly? The sales clerk indicates the hand truck over in the corner. Oh, thanks so much. I load the pile of boxes onto the cart and rush back to the Nokane building. Is he just going to trust her to bring it back? Okay, you know what? Japan is a high-trust society, so that's fine. By now, the sales demo will be well underway. I need to get back as soon as I can. there's nothing to buy. The customers are going to leave, and everything I've gone through will have been for nothing. Come on, Tama, you can do it. Just gotta hurry. I charged for the demo, pushing the dolly ahead of me like a battering ram. Ah! Oops, sorry to keep you waiting. You're late. What the heck have you been doing? Mr. Yanagishita practically throws himself at me. The waiting must have been killing him. Behind him is a man I don't recognize. Who is that guy? Why, that's Minorukawa, but we can't jump to him yet. He doesn't look like a customer. Okay, Tama, just come with me for a minute. I follow Mr. Yanagishita into the break room. Sorry I'm late. There was a whole bunch of stuff that happened, but look, I got the product back. I proudly open up one of the cardboard boxes. Ah, it's Burning Hammer. It really, really is. Yanagishita clutches the box close, nuzzling it with his cheek. How's the demo going? I ask. I've got Chiri keeping them occupied with some magic tricks. What? I sneak a peek through the door and see Chiri guzzling orange juice from a gigantic container, draining it in one go. Is that really a magic trick? If it buys us time, it's magic enough. Before long, the last of the juice is gone. Over in the corner of the stage, I see 6 more huge containers, all likewise empty. It's shocking to think that she may have drunk all 7 of those things dry. The audience erupts into sincere applause, like they've forgotten what they originally came here for. Chiri comes back to the break room, positively drenched in sweat. I think I should have stuck to doing imitations for a little longer. No, that was fantastic, Chiri, Mr. Yanagishita says. Just fantastic! Thanks to you, we had enough time to get the Burning Hammer back. He bows profusely. Alright, now's the time for the main event. Who is that? Chiri, go out there and guzzle down some Burning Hammer. Get yourself all drenched in sweat. Got it? Aye, aye, boss. And Tama, just go up there, smile all big, and say, this helped me lose a bunch of weight too. Got it? Got it. I love that she's just okay about total deceptive advertising. Good. Now then. Yanagishita gestures to a man I hadn't noticed before. He's been waiting quietly nearby. Of course, begging your pardon, miss. It's a service rep from the rental shop who proceeds to try to get me out of my mascot suit. Masamichi Fukuma, employee of Far East Costume Rentals, the only son of company president Shigemichi Fukuma, he is one of the few people who knew what Shigemichi looks like, as his father is usually clad in a rabbit costume. Oh, really? Masamichi has harbored a strong dislike for both his father and mascot costumes ever since the old man showed up at school on Parents' Day one year dressed in his inevitable rabbit suit. Nonetheless, the son has acquiesced to his father's wishes, and someday he'll inherit the family business. Oh, that's odd. The rental guy tilts his head. What's the matter? Yanagishita asks nervously. Yeah, this is a no-go. The rental guy pokes his finger at the back of my suit. This here zipper, it's all jammed up. It's gonna take a long time to get this thing off. What the hell? Mr. Yanagishita clutches the side of his head. The rental guy tries tugging at the costume from various angles, hoping to free up the zipper, but like he said, it's no use. Meow. The rental guy's eyes widen at the sudden sound of a cat's mewling. Was that you? He looks at me confused. Did you hear a cat meowing? Yes. Was it you? No, not me. I'm as surprised as he is. Must be hearing things. Mr. Yanagishita and Chiri don't seem to have heard anything. Bah! Yanagishita is fuming. Just my luck! Finally found a cute model and the crowd's never gonna see her. Hey, boss. Chiri says the customers are gonna leave if you keep them waiting much longer. What do we do? Want me to go out in there and do some more impressions? Oh, no. Chiriko's repertoire of impressions. A sea lion yawning. A harbor seal hailing a cab. A walrus reading sutras. A fur seal who can't reach the itchy spot on his back. Stellar's sea lion taking a nap. All of her impressions are sea lions. Okay. No, we don't have any choice, Tama. You're just gonna have to go out there dressed like that. Are you sure? I ask. If those people go home, we're done for, he exclaims. Just get out there and get started. I'm counting on you two. Ladies, terribly sorry to have kept you waiting. Oh no. Cheery and I spring into action on stage. But now I'm proud to introduce you to the worldwide sensation that is Burning Hammer, the latest product from the West that has taken the diet world by storm. Every seat in the house is packed. That means there's about 40 people here. We only need to sell 5 bottles to each customer in order to sell out. I'm hit with a sudden jolt of motivation. Allow us to explain just how this revolutionary new diet drink works. It's magic, Cheery begins. The plan is for me to describe how the drink works, and then Cheery will demonstrate it with a taste test. All eyes are fixed on us. I begin. For the first time in human history, you can drink a single bottle and lose a whole kilogram. Just drink and burn that excess weight away. Astonished gasps rise up from the crowd. Just take a look at this marvelous red liquid. Even looking at it makes you feel like you'll be shedding weight, right? Here's how Burning Hammer works. It activates the capsaicin found in chili peppers. Capsaicin, the primary spice component of chili peppers, said to be effective for improving blood flow and stimulating the burning effect. Because it is a severe skin and eye irritant, it is also an ingredient in some forms of pepper spray for personal defense. I pause to take a deep breath before continuing. And rapidly breaks down the triglycerides responsible for causing obesity. Obesity, though the term is frequently used in recent years, simply refer to the state of being overweight. Obesity in the clinical sense is a medical condition involving interrelated health issues, including excess body fat, hyperlipidemia, and hyperglycemia. Individuals suffering from obesity are at high risk of complications such as coronary heart disease, diabetes, and sleep apnea. Again, the crowd hums with excitement. This response is better than I could have hoped. We're off to a terrific start. And now this young lady here will demonstrate Burning Hammer's effects before your very eyes. Cheery steps into the spotlight. Just wait till you see how much she sweats. Proof that the fat is being burned right there on the spot. Cheery holds a bottle of Burning Hammer up high. Cheers, she says. As she opens the bottle, however, one of the women in the front row speaks up. Hold on. She's already sweating pretty hard. She's right. Cheery is drenched in sweat from head to toe. Another woman chimes in, suspicious. All of that juice drinking from earlier, that was all just to make her sweat like that, weren't it? All of a sudden, the crowd is in an uproar. No, not at all. Drinking Burning Hammer makes you sweat way more than this. I rush to towel off Cheery's sweat for her. Come on, hurry up! Drink it down! Cheery's face screws up unpleasantly as she gulps down the bottle. And the sweat doesn't come. Why isn't it working? I exclaim, the audience momentarily forgotten. Guess I've already sweated out too much, Cheery replies, unfazed. Well, why were you sweating so much? Look, you were taking forever at the 100-yen shop! The crowd shifts from uproar into riot. Did she just say 100-yen shop? Scowling customers begin to close in. No, that's not it. You got it all wrong. This is a bad end. Please just listen. Oh, we can see what's going on here. The situation has gotten out of our control. Look, this product is so valuable that a 100-yen shop is about the only way we can get it. What? Uh-oh. I think I just put my foot in it. The customers glare at me, their eyes bright with rage. Please let me apologize. Asking for forgiveness seems to be my only option. Haha. Kidding. That was a joke. I'm just gonna play this off smooth. Hunk a lamb chop? What? It's a clumsy attempt to force it off, but it's my only option. Let's try it. Hunk a lamb chop! What? It's a clumsy attempt to force it off, but it's my only option. She said hunk a lamb chop, I repeat. Meaning that Burning Hammer is just so incredibly filling, having just one tiny bottle will feel like you've eaten a big, meaty meal. Yeah, that's what she meant. Uh-huh, sneers one customer. Sure. Did they really sell this at 100-yen shops? Rats. We didn't manage to distract them. 100-yen shop? What's that? Answer me! Do they really sell these at 100? Look! I cry. It's the chupacabra! I thrust my arm out to point, only to accidentally catch one of the attendees in the head with my fuzzy fist. Then the woman lets out a muted groan and sinks to the ground, unconscious. The rest of the crowd stares at me, stunned. Oops, I murmur. Tama! Shouts Mr. Yanagishita, rushing out of the break room. What the heck are you doing? Abort! Abort! He howls. If you let these people know the truth about this stuff, they'll never buy it! Uh-oh, now you've done it. Oh, wow. Cheery doesn't hesitate to point the finger at him, her stare ferocious. Oh, whoops! I love that look, realizing what he had just blurted out. Mr. Yanagishita is aghast. Now there really is no saving this. The customers descend upon Mr. Yanagishita, their wrath a terror to behold. So then it is true! What the hell are you trying to pull? I can't believe you tried to sell this crap for these prices. Oh no. Oh no. Aye! The throng goes on the attack. Help! Jiren and I force our way through the angry mob, hoping to find some way to calm these people down. Cursing and profanity fill the air. The shouts are accompanied by merciless, open-handed slaps. I get all jostled and tumbled about, and my mascot costume takes a bad beating. Finally, the storm passes. Oh my. It's all destroyed. It's over. It's all over. Mr. Yanagishita wails to the empty room. So, boss, about getting paid? Even Cherry seems hesitant to ask. Yeah, that's not gonna happen, obviously. Yanagishita doesn't so much as look up. His shoulders slump further in defeat. I'll take payment in kind then, Cherry says. Mind if I take this burning hammer home with me? Sure, Yanagishita says lifelessly. Go right ahead. Alright, I'll be off then. Later, Tama. Cherry picks up the cardboard boxes and heads out. Sir? It's the man from the rental place. I believe you still owe me for the costume rentals? Oh, right. How much was it again? Mr. Yanagishita rummages in his pockets. Well, given the severe damage, I'm afraid I have to add the full cost of the catsuit to your bill. Your total comes to 200,000 yen. Was that 200 yen? No, sir. 200,000. Sorry, I can't hear at all. I think I might have ruptured my eardrum. 200,000 yen, sir. Okay. Yanagishita takes all the cash he has in his wallet and holds it out reluctantly. That's only 20,000, sir. The rental guy furrows his brow. I'm afraid this won't cover it. I understand that, but I don't got no more than this. Don't got no more? Sir, please, you're not a child. Then give me a discount. Make it 20,000. Instead of the 200 you owe? You know I can't do that, sir. But Mr. Yanagishita refuses to back down. Ah, that's right. Insurance. I got insurance in the event the suit wound up damaged. No, you didn't. No, I did. You did not, sir. No, I did! Then where's your paperwork to prove it? Yanagishita calmly claps a hand to his chest. He's still wearing the pendant. I love it. Right here. Paperwork is here. Inside my heart. The rental guy clutches the side of his head in exasperation. I want to try that next time. Ah, yes, the paperwork. It was inside me all along. The paperwork was the friends we made along the way. And believe me, I feel his pain. You know what? Never mind. I'm gonna leave this to my boss. Shigemichi Fukuma, president and owner of Far East Costume Rentals. Notable for the fact that he's usually wearing his favorite rabbit costume. To Shigemichi, his costumes are like his children. If he were to hear that one of his suits had been ruined, he'd probably never forgive Yanagishita, adding to the man's already considerable list of enemies. Turning his back on the ruins of the sales demo, he slimps his way out of the room. Now it's just me and Mr. Yanagishita. Please try not to let it get you down so much, sir, I say, as cheerfully as I can muster. He's already down on the floor, sobbing mess. You wouldn't know what it's like to feel so utterly hopeless. I think I might have an idea, sir. In fact, I'm sure of it. At this point, there's nothing more I can possibly do. He slumps forward, trembling like a willow tree. Things will turn around soon enough, I'm sure. You don't know me like I know me, he says. That's not going to be any turnaround. Not after this. Okay, now this little pity party is starting to piss me off. You know, if you think you're the only person who's had a run of bad luck, you are dead wrong. I wind up shouting the words louder than I intended. Mr. Yanagishita whips his head back up. Yikes! Where'd that come from? I need to tell you something. My pent-up emotions come surging to the surface. I have amnesia! Yanagishita's eyes go wide. What? That's been implied this whole time, but now we have confirmation. I can't remember anything from before this morning. In short, amnesia. Amnesia can have a variety of causes. Psychogenic amnesia is caused by stress or psychological trauma, whereas an endogenous amnesia, a powerful blow to the head, causes physical trauma to the brain. In the latter case, memories and other normal functions frequently return once the cranial nerves recover. My name, how old I am, where I live, any of it. I would much rather be in your shoes, sir. Mr. Yanagishita looks at me with a hint of disbelief. So where'd you get the name Tama, then? I thought of it when I saw the Tamagayaki in those lunchboxes. Aha! Tamagayaki! Tama! I get it! He claps himself on the thighs as if he's had some big eureka moment. But wait, how come you lost your memories? Well, I don't know for certain, obviously. I don't remember. But I'm pretty sure I took a hard blow to the head. When I came to, I was inside of a storehouse with a massive headache. A storehouse? A surge of vertigo washes through me as I recall waking up in that strange, dim place. Yeah, I had just gotten out of there when you flagged me down, sir. Huh? Really? So, is it pretty unnerving then, not knowing who you are? He sounds like he's taking me seriously now. Yeah, it sure is, but it's not gonna do me any good to just fret over it. And besides, I've got a clue. What sort of clue? The pendant! There's a necklace I saw at a knick-knack shop, the same place I found the burning hammer. Somehow I know that it's important to me. And so you took this job so you could afford to buy it? I nod. Of course, now that the job has ended in a total bust, I've lost my shot at getting it. Okay then, Mr. Yanagishita removes his shoe and yanks out the insole. This here really is the last of my money. He pulls out 20,000 yen, adds it to the other 20,000 from his wallet, and thrusts it all toward me. Here you go, he says. That includes the reimbursement for the burning hammer you picked up. I pluck up 2 of the 10,000 yen bills between my fingertips. I actually didn't have to pay for it. The 20,000 we agreed upon is fine. But how about you, sure? Are you gonna be okay? Like, after all this? Compared to your misfortunes, mine are nothing. They might send me up the creek without a paddle, but I'll bounce back somehow. I'm sure of it. And then, clutching his fist, Mr. Yanagishita gets a far-off look in his eye. And then one more time. I'm gonna go see a bride fight! My jaw nearly drops. Bride? Like the martial arts pub? Wait, you know about Bride? Man, I've spent so much money at that place. Wow, it is a small world. Especially that Miku. I wonder how much she has made me spend. Miku, huh? Hey, there she is. I'm pretty sure I just accidentally forced her to retirement, but I decided to keep quiet on that front. He nods. To be honest, the reason I borrowed all that money was to pay my tabs at that place. And I had to borrow from some pretty shady sources, too. I can't help but suspect that this guy got a real raw deal. Why don't you take that mascot costume with you? Huh? I mean, I don't really need it. No, I insist. Take it, with my blessing. Sure. I'll be on my way then. Oh, out in the hallway, I passed by the man I'd noticed earlier, the one I didn't recognize, who was, of course, Minoru Minorikawa, who we can't actually go to yet. Odd. The sales demo's over. I wonder why he's still here. I give him a faint nod, and he nods back before slipping into the demo room. I should keep my fingers crossed for the guy. At least I'm back outside the building. I feel bad about not returning the catsuit to the man for the rental place. Still, I can't just walk around town wearing this thing. I'll stick out like a sore thumb. I figure it's best to just leave it behind. And then it dawns on me. Hold on. I still can't get this thing off. Next time I skin this cat, I need to get rid of this costume, whatever it takes. It's not worth the struggle. Guess this cat's staying in the bag. I figure I'll head to the knick-knack shop as is. Let's get it off. It's time I skin this cat. The exact origin of the phrase, "there's more than one way to skin a cat," is uncertain and a matter of some dispute, though it appears to have arisen in the latter portion of the 19th century. It's hard to imagine why anyone would want to conjure up such a gruesome mental image. I need to get rid of this costume, whatever it takes. I take hold of the head in both hands and yank it upward as hard as I can. Oh-ho! Please tell me I'm not just imagining things. The head feels a whole lot looser than it did before. If I give it a good enough push, then maybe... Ah! It comes off. I did it! I slip out of the rest of the cat costume and gleefully abandon it as I head for the knick-knack shop. Keep out! Oh, no. We don't get to know what Tama looks like just yet. Sorry. Okay. Well, let me just take a real quick break, and then we're going to resume. So I'll be right back. I think we're going to keep going with Minorikawa next. All right, be right back. All right, I'm back. Minorikawa, let's go. Kawabunga arriving at the demo. At long last, he arrived at the Nokane building where the event was being held. The wall by the elevator was plastered with posters about Burning Hammer. Get it or regret it. As seen in magazines, 100% weight loss guaranteed. Which, I love the false advertising. The messaging was kind of a mess, felt like they'd been thrown together at the last minute. Minorikawa avoided the elevator in favor of the stairs, rushing up to the event site on the 3rd floor. Emerging from the stairwell, he saw more posters on the wall, pointing the way to the sales demo. He followed the arrows to a room deeper within the building. Opening the door, he saw about 50 chairs, most of them occupied by female attendees. Oh, this is pretty much the same. Okay. We wheel over the crowd. Half of the women, elderly. Yeah. They can stand to lose some weight. The beverage that allowed you to eat plenty and still lose weight was definitely an appetizing proposition. Yeah, okay. Journalism mode, okay. Time passed, but the demo didn't start. The audience began grumbling in frustration. Then a heavy-set young woman took the stage and gave a little bow. It was the girl from the cafe, the one with the amazing appetite. The audience broke into applause, their patience finally rewarded. But as everyone leaned forward expectantly, the girl on the stage began performing magic tricks. She twiddled a silk hat and pulled a bunch of flowers from inside it. Sparse applause rose up from the crowd. The young woman immediately went on to perform another trick, and then another. Ta-da! A coin in her hand became 3 coins as she spoke her magic words. She's not very good at this, Norikawa thought. But whether she was good or bad wasn't really the issue. He had a tight schedule to keep. There was no time to stand around watching silly sleight of hand antics. Scanning the room, he spotted a man who looked like he was probably in charge. Norikawa headed over to him. Hey, you! You the one running this thing? Well, yes. When's the actual sales demo going to start? Soon. Very soon. Yep. That face. I love it. In how many minutes? You know, soon. I asked for a number. Just, soon. Real soon. This was getting him nowhere. 3 minutes, Norikawa declared. He held up 3 fingers to emphasize his point. If this thing doesn't start in 3 minutes. If it doesn't start, then what? I'm gonna start a ruckus. I'm just gonna go home. I'm gonna be heartbroken. I want to say that one. I'm gonna be heartbroken. He kept his expression blank as an empty slate. Hey now, no need for that, sir. Just settle down. Who doesn't like a little silly magic show now and then? You've got 2 minutes. Hey, a minute can have passed already. 1 minute. Whoa! Just what kind of watch you got there? Tell me why the demo wasn't starting. No real reason, really. The man was getting seriously flustered. I just, wanted folks to get to see a little magic show first. Nope. Try again. 30 seconds left. Okay, all right. What happened is, they required merchandise, What happened to the merchandise? Norikawa demanded. He gave the guy a dagger stare. Well, it's just, Time's up. What? The man's face went pale. Keep out! But we know how to get out of that one. It's in Thomas' story. Alright. I believe it's right here. In fact. An unfamiliar man? Or, no, it's, street fight. Nope. It is an unfamiliar man. Okay. I'll keep you waiting. You're late. Okay. Practically throws himself. Must have been killing him. Is a man I don't recognize. There we go. The man we don't recognize is Norikawa. We just unlocked him already. Boom. Oops. Sorry to keep you waiting, a girlish voice exclaimed. A moment later, a furry figure came charging into the demo room. The crowd fell silent at the sight of a young woman in a cat costume. The cat girl panted visibly. Her arms were loaded with cardboard boxes. You're late, the event organizer snapped. What the heck have you been doing? Grabbing the newcomer by one paw, he vanished with her into the back room. The chubby-cheeked girl wrapped up her magic routine and hurried after them. The audience stared at the now empty stage in confusion. We're about to see the chaos. Several minutes passed before the organizer reappeared. Ladies! Terribly sorry to have kept you waiting, he called out. But now I'm proud to introduce to you the worldwide sensation that is Burning Hammer! At his signal, the young woman and the cat appeared on stage. Allow us to explain just how this revolutionary new diet drink works. It's magic, the young woman exclaimed cheerily. The cat nodded and threw out her arms. For the first time in human history, you could drink a single bottle and lose a whole kilogram. Just drink and burn that excess weight away. And with that, the sales demo was underway, a good 25 minutes behind schedule. 5 minutes into the presentation, things began to go awry. An angry clamor filled the room. What the heck are you trying to pull? I can't believe you'd actually try to sell something like this. The outrage had been triggered by something the young woman on stage had said. She'd inadvertently let slip that Burning Hammer was the sort of thing you could buy at a 100 yen shop. The would-be customers were furious to learn that they were about to be played for suckers. Most of them had immediately tried to storm out of the room. Now the organizer, the full-figured young woman, and the girl in the cat costume were at the door doing their best to hold back the tide. This had gotten pretty interesting, really. Minoru Kawa pulled out his digital camera and started firing off snapshots at the angry crowd. Oh, digital camera. Some modern digital cameras come with the remarkable ability to automatically trigger the shutter when the subject smiles. This function also works as if the camera is presented with a TV or photo image of people smiling. There are even cases of cameras recognizing faces in the wood grain of ceilings. After all, if we can make out faces in the wood when we're gazing lazily up at the ceiling, we can't fault the camera for doing the same. I love it. Very 2008. Unfortunately, their frenzy was so intense that he was soon caught up with the flow and pushed out of the room. Fine, I guess I'll just need to do some interviews instead of getting pictures. Excuse me, he asked one woman, would you mind if I ask you some... Shut your mouth! Would you mind telling me a little bit about... Don't you talk to me? Could I get a word on... Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. The women were so enraged that Minoru Kawa couldn't get any of them to give him the time of day. I love it. I love all this. Before long, the entire crowd is surged out of the room and departed. Oh well. Guess I've got enough to do a write-up at least. Though it would be nice to get a quote from somebody. He decided to try for an interview with the man who organized this fiasco. How did the guy feel, for instance, about his product scam falling through? Heading back into the event room, Minoru Kawa passed by the cat mascot. The cat gave him a little tiny nod and walked off without a word. He couldn't see the face of the girl inside the costume, but she seemed genuinely dejected. That burning hammer had been a bust. And that would take us to Tama, but we'll finish Minoru Kawa here. Hey, I'm Minoru Kawa, freelance reporter. I was wondering if I could have 5 minutes of your time. The organizer sat alone in the midst of his ruined displays. Oh, it's you. The man's voice had lost all of its earlier punch. Here, my credentials. Minoru Kawa handed him a business card. The man introduced himself as Yanagishita, and Minoru Kawa got right down to business. So your sales demo was over, Mr. Yanagishita. How do you feel right now? How do I feel? Well, tomorrow is another day, I guess. Minoru Kawa was impressed by the guy's candor. I'm a little surprised to hear that, he said. I figured you'd be more disappointed. Oh, I'm plenty disappointed. I took a big gamble here to repay my debts, and I lost. Yanagishita didn't seem to be trying to hide anything. Debts? Minoru Kawa asked. There was a girl I was in love with, Yanagishita said. I wound up spending everything on her. He stared wistfully into the distance. Ah, interesting, Minoru Kawa said. You wouldn't be the first man to go to such lengths for a woman. Yeah, Yanagishita said. I suppose not. A rueful smile crossed his lips. The guy didn't strike Minoru Kawa as some dyed-in-the-wool scam artist. But I decided that it was time to stop feeling sorry for myself, Yanagishita went on. There are plenty of people in the world who have it way worse off, you know? We got that right. Minoru Kawa nodded in agreement. So I just figure, well, as long as I'm still alive, maybe another opportunity will come my way. A more earnest smile broke through Yanagishita's forlorn expression. Minoru Kawa wished Toyama could have been there to hear this fellow. I have a friend who's in an incredible amount of debt myself, Minoru Kawa said. He runs a publishing company, but there was a big mix-up with scratch cards in his magazine, and... Scratch cards? Not important, Minoru Kawa said hurriedly. Letting more people know about the whole scratch card fiasco certainly wouldn't do Toyama any favors. Anyhow, debt is a terrible thing, Minoru Kawa nodded sagely. Oh, by the way, this is unrelated, but... Are you familiar with a group called SOS? Apparently they're some legendary street gang here in Shibuya. SOS? Yanagishita shook his head. No, never heard of them. Guess I'm not going to get any leads on that case here. Minoru Kawa wondered if there was anything else worth asking this guy. Maybe he'd be willing to take the Shibuya now? Yes! Maybe Yanagishita would be willing to take a Shibuya Now survey. Taking a little bit of the burden off of Chiaki seemed like a good idea. I have another question. How do you feel about your life right now? Huh? How do you feel about your life? Products aren't selling, can't repay your debts, and yet you still refuse to give up, believing opportunity will come your way. How do you feel about all that? Yanagashita paused in thought. I'd say I'm a pretty lucky guy. Minorukawa was taken somewhat aback by that response. I haven't been able to sell any burning hammer, and sure I can't pay off my debts, but even so... Yanagashita looked Minorukawa right in the eye. The two cute young girls I've got working for me have stuck with me through thick and thin. Sometimes, maybe you just need to be content with something like that, you know? That was refreshingly forthright. Minorukawa was surprised. And I mean, so what if I've got debts? Yanagashita went on. In the long run, none of that matters. Not really. It don't matter. There was a knock at the door. Oh, excuse me for a moment, Yanagashita said. Wonder who that could be. He opened the door and his face froze. Damn, wasn't quite quick enough. Mr. Minorukawa? Yes? You'll have to pardon me. I've had a little something crop up here. So if you don't mind... Oh, sure, not a problem. I've got other interviews I need to get to anyway, so I'll just... But Yanagashita was out the door before Minorukawa could even finish. Oh no. Stepping out into the hallway, Minorukawa could faintly hear voices from the adjoining Gemmo room. It sounded like Mr. Yanagashita and two other men. Minorukawa couldn't make out any words, but he could tell they were arguing about something. Probably some consumer complaint about one of his products or an issue with a client company. Something along those lines. Man, people who run companies sure have it rough. You hang in there, Mr. Yanagashita. It's the Yakuza guys, I bet. Oh, perfect timing. Minorukawa stopped short as a familiar voice called out to him. It was the man he'd spoken to earlier that afternoon about the surveillance cameras. Hey, come here for a sec! The man waved him over. What is it? I'm real busy right now. I've got a scoop for you! Saw it with my own eyes! Minorukawa raised an eyebrow. Oh, it's the fight! He's gonna talk about the fight. Give me the details. Okay, so a little while ago, I saw some foreign guy in handcuffs arguing with someone who looked like a detective. Oh, it wasn't... Oh. A foreigner in handcuffs. Had there been some kind of international sting or something? Whatever the case, it wasn't such a rare thing to see. Where was this? Just over there, behind the police station. Minorukawa furrowed his brow. A suspect arguing with a cop outside a police station wasn't all that weird. Still, he had a feeling he was missing something. Well, the big thing is what happened afterward, the man said. Afterward, the man leaned in conspiratorially. The detective undid the guy's handcuffs and let him run off. Well, what? I'm telling you, man, it had to have been like a bribe or something. A bribe? That seemed unlikely. I swear that's what it had to be. There was some wheel greasing going on. You're not making this all up, are you? Minorukawa asked. He regarded the man coldly, but the guy still seemed quite legitimately worked up. It's all true! Please, you have to report this to the police right away! Why do I have to? Minorukawa asked. If you have a tip for the police, go give it yourself. He didn't quite manage to stop himself from saying that out loud. No, I can't. I'm no good when it comes to police. Besides, they're never going to believe someone like me. Okay, so maybe he had a point there. But you're some world-class reporter, right? The cops will totally take your word over that of a random nobody. Minorukawa didn't have time to debate the point. It was easier just to make the call. He phoned up the police to leave the tip. The man bowed repeatedly, looking pretty grateful. Oh, thank you so much. I haven't been able to get any business done with those scary thugs around. What thugs? What line of business are you in anyway? What? The man suddenly went pale. Whoops, I gotta get going. He skittered off in alarm. Minorukawa was left to wonder what this guy's line of work actually was. But he had more important things to worry about at the moment. He hurried off in the other direction. Before long, he arrived back at Café Lautrec. The clock on the wall showed that it was close to 2 o'clock. He had to somehow fill 6 more pages before the loan company came to Heaven Publishing to collect. He booted up his laptop. "What's with this coffee shop?" said a low, stern voice. "You've got no good magazines here." Minorikawa looked up. "Oh no, it's... Oh, Chizuo!" An older man was complaining to one of the waitresses. It was the same guy who'd been yelling at his daughter earlier. Evidently, he'd been here at the cafe this whole time. "Haven't you got any magazines for me to read?" The man's face was a mask of irritation. Minorikawa glanced at the magazines in the rack. They were mostly geared toward a younger reader. The waitress sifted through the stacks and pulled something from the back. "Perhaps this would be to your liking, sir?" he said. She held out an issue of 4-star general gossip. "Don't be ridiculous!" The man spat dismissively. "This is vulgar, low-grade filth. I wouldn't even use the paper it's printed on for compost." That was a harsh way to put it, but Minorikawa couldn't fault him for speaking the truth. Oh, ouch! The man continued grumbling as he went back to his seat. Minorikawa headed over to the magazine rack himself and picked up the gossip. He opened the front cover and found the scratch card still inserted within. If these things were still out there, it was bad news. Tsuyama might end up even further in debt. Bah! Minorikawa yanked the scratch card out and tore it to bits. "Sir, what are you doing?" The waitress rushed to stop him, only for the pieces to rain down on her like confetti. "The magazine itself is still perfectly readable," Minorikawa said. "There's no problem here." He strode back to his seat and gazed at his laptop screen. Still hadn't finished booting up. In the meantime, he decided to give Chiaki a call. He got like a 5-minute boot time. He picked up right away. "Hello?" Oh, sorry, I thought that was Cheeky. "Hello?" Minorikawa asked. "Hi there. Good to hear from you," Cheeky replied. "How's progress?" "I did it," Cheeky said, her voice overcome with emotion. "I managed to get people to hear me out." "Of course you did. You got your pointers from me." That's very humble of him. "Yes, I couldn't have done it without you, Mr. Mino." Her mood had done a complete 180. Minorikawa allowed himself to a little sigh of relief. "Okay then," he said. "Head back to the editing department and put together an article for me." "You got it, sir," Chiaki chirped in reply. "I'll email you as soon as I'm done with things on my end," Minorikawa told her. "Just use the DTP to slot your piece into the right spot in the layout." DTP, abbreviation for desktop publishing, refers to the process of editing a manuscript's layout on a computer preparatory to sending it to the printer, also used to refer to the software used for creating such layouts. Creating layout data that is ready for printing, but has not yet actually been printed out yet, is also sometimes called DTP. "Sure thing!" Minorikawa hung up and rolled up his sleeves. He sure was towing a pretty narrow line today. The Burning Hammer event had kept him a little longer than anticipated. Now he needed to clean up his copy as soon as possible in order to stick to his schedule. When he turned back toward his laptop, however, he froze with shock. What? His laptop monitor was still black, the empty screen. There's no way it would take this long to finish booting up. It couldn't be. No. No. Don't let it be true. Had his computer decided to pick now, of all times, to give up the ghost? Minorikawa felt the blood drain from his face. Look at that. I love it. Look at that. His laptop died? Like, died? To be continued. Oh, we got his... he's totally done. Oh, he's totally done. All right, I think this is where we jump to Tama. So let's jump to Tama. Noriko, the cat mascot. Oop. Oop, I did it wrong. Okay, so... yeah, heading back, passed by the cat mascot. Will this unlock her keep out? No. She's kept out. She's mega ultra kept out. Okay. Alright. Well, Achi's bad ended. Kano, we can continue. Minorikawa's done. And Osawa, we can continue. So, I think Let's do some Osawa. Let's do some Osawa. He's got the bug tracker. Okay. Right, Mr. Osawa, Kajiwara, Detective in. Bug tracker's picking up signals. Wait, we did all this. This was even before the him cooking for him thing. Bug tracker, it's broken. Different noise cut in over the bug tracker. Wait, Kajiwara here. Kano. Kajiwara's customary nonchalant expression vanished into a sudden seriousness. Oh wait, this scene's different now. Sorry, hold on, he continued. I can't really hear you. He headed out of the room, the phone clutched to his ear. Osawa was left to wonder what the detective had been about to tell him. The bug tracker was what? What the heck was going on? The sound wasn't stopping. Deciding that he better do something, Osawa took the bug tracker and checked behind his bookcase. It didn't seem like the signal was coming from back there. Of course, we know it's broken. He proceeded to pull each and every one of the books off of the shelf. Nothing. He checked the area around his computer. He scanned the monitor, the case, the power outlet, but he found nothing that could be a listening device anywhere. He found a small screwdriver and dismantled the mouse. The brown circuit board was lined with chips, but nothing appeared out of the ordinary. And still the mechanical sound continued, mocking him. Just try to find it. Go ahead, look everywhere. Beep, 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 beep. He was being ridiculed. The sound just wouldn't stop. And still the time ticked past. Had it been 5 minutes? 10? Maybe more? He began to lose hope that he could find the listening devices and even stop caring. Instead, he was overcome with the feeling that this room, which for years had been his sanctuary, had ceased to be his own. It was as if something other had intruded and laid claim to his personal space. In his fevered mind, he began to hear the tracker's sound as a high-pitched laugh. An accursed, relentless noise. Cruel and taunting, the mockery of the devil himself! Osawa hurled the bug tracker against the wall. Then he picked it up, only to smash it back onto the floor. Then he stomped on it ferociously. There was a satisfying snap, accompanied by the sensation of the thing being crushed underfoot. The noise stopped. Or, well, it ought to have. And yet, for some reason, the horrid noise kept sounding in Osawa's ears. It wasn't coming from the bug tracker after all. It was inside his own head, somewhere inescapable, echoing within his skull. No, the noise didn't stop. It only grew louder. Why? 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 Osawa screamed. Why? Why was he being tormented like this? He couldn't take it anymore. He couldn't even think straight anymore. He felt his mind beginning to dissolve. He went insane from an annoying bug tracker. Brain freeze. Oh my gosh. A fun fact, in Japan, some Logitech products are sold as Logicool brand. I did not know that. That's so weird. Not sure why. Seriously, what? Logicool, huh? Alright. The incessant beeping from the bug tracker wound up driving Osawa out of his mind. What Kajiwara was about to say, just before he got that phone call, was pretty crucial for Osawa to hear. Unfortunately, the call distracted him, and he left the room before he could finish his thought. Things could have gone differently if only someone hadn't called Detective Kajiwara right then. Alright, well, that's a pretty good indication that Kano needs to make a different choice. The car moved at a glacial pace toward the crime syndicate's hideout. Stanley pounded his fists on the steering wheel in frustration. They had no sooner set out than the traffic slowed to a near standstill. Despite the occasional lurch, it never crept above a crawl. Kano stewed in the passenger seat. The case was rapidly getting out of hand. Now he had to worry about the safety of both Maria and her sister Hitomi. Never mind the fact that Detective Tatano had also gone missing. There were too many unknowns, too many uncertainties, and his unease was growing unbearable. Also, Tatano hasn't radioed in. We can't reach him from our end either. Kuze's words kept echoing inside Kano's head. What could have caused Tatano to drop out of contact? Someone had gone after Hitomi while Kano and the others were busy trailing the attaché case. Could Tatano have been... No, it couldn't be. Kano was sure Tatano would have done whatever was necessary to keep Hitomi safe. Stanley broke the long silence. What's on your mind, then? Still thinking about that call from Kuze? Kano didn't answer. Look, if you're worrying about that other detective, the guy couldn't even protect one girl, Stanley continued. Not exactly a ringing endorsement. Don't you talk about Detective Tatano that way! I'm concerned about Hitomi Osawa, but the missing attaché case needs to come first. Stanley's expression remained stone cold. Kano flashed him a sidelong glare, then went back to staring out the window. A moment later, a flurry of motion in a nearby alley caught his eye. At the start, he recognized Sasayama. His fellow detective was caught up in an altercation with a man in dark clothes. Kano sprang into action, his body moving almost before his mind registered the situation. Sasayama! Leaving the door open, he leapt out of the car. Hey, wait! Stanley called after him, but Kano was already sprinting toward the fight. Oof! The other man knocked Sasayama into a pile of garbage. As Sasayama struggled to get back to his feet, his opponent looked down at him with a triumphant sneer. Kano finally got a good look at the man, and his eyes flashed with recognition. It was the perp who'd first taken the attaché case back at the Scramble, Tariq Al-Karawan. You! Kano growled. He sped like a bullet to tackle Al-Karawan around the legs. But Al-Karawan nimbly stepped aside. Kano's arms closed on nothing but air. At the same moment, Al-Karawan deftly wrapped an arm around Kano's neck. Kano felt a vice-like pressure on his carotid artery. A move known as the front choke sleeper hold. Constricting the carotid artery stops blood flow to the brain, causing the opponent to lose consciousness, also known as a guillotine choke. His consciousness quickly began to slip away. No, you don't, you bastard! He snarled. Lowering his center of gravity, he got hold of one of Al-Karawan's legs and used his shoulder as a fulcrum against it. Nyah! Despite the arm still crushing his neck, Kano managed to lift his opponent high into the air. He continued the movement to heave Al-Karawan up and over, slamming him upside down onto the heap of trash, a reverse suplex! Stanley strolled up to the aftermath of the struggle. Well, you've got the brawn part down, he said. Need some work on the brains. Al-Karawan was sprawled out atop the mound of refuse. He had been knocked out cold. Sasayama coughed and sputtered. Kano went to help him to his feet, but Stanley stepped in between them. What are you doing? Stanley asked. Helping Sasayama. What does it look like? We need to apprehend Al-Karawan first. Not even conscious. Sasayama can come first. He pushed Stanley aside and crouched down alongside his partner. You alright? He asked. Yeah, Sasayama groaned. You bailing me out, though. Can't let the missus know about that. Mum's the word, Kano said. He slipped an arm underneath Sasayama and helped him to his feet. I managed to find the guy who had the attaché case, Sasayama said, but when I tried to arrest him, this fella came out of nowhere and attacked me. He flashed Al-Karawan a nasty look. So here we go again, disobeying direct orders, Stanley huffed. What's the deal with Japanese police, anyway? He shook his head in exasperation. Sasayama gave Kano a puzzled look, jerking his thumb at the American. Who's this guy? It's a long story, Kano said. He filled Sasayama in on the situation. Enough chit-chat. Hurry up and cuff this guy, Stanley said. Kano knelt down by Al-Karawan's unconscious body, flipped him over, and proceeded to cuff his hands behind his back. Kano paused. Al-Karawan's sleeve had slid back from his wrist. What's this? The unconscious man had a tattoo of a two-headed scorpion on his left forearm, the one that says skill. Stanley strode over. You find something? He asked. Yes. This guy might be the ringleader. Seeing the image, it reminded Kano of something he'd heard back at headquarters, that the head of the foreign syndicate had a scorpion tattoo. He relayed this information to Stanley. I see. Stanley called up Kuze on his cell. You'll be happy to know that the guy with the attaché case is still at large, he said. Apprehending the ringleader at this point shouldn't be an issue. One of your so very capable subordinates gave us a big step forward in this case here. Wait a second, Sasayama murmured. That was sarcasm, wasn't it? Stanley hung up and called over to him. Think you can escort this guy back to the precinct? Yeah, sure. Seeing how very capable I am. Kind of felt his phone vibrate. The display showed an incoming call from Rumi. Hello? He answered warily, keeping his voice down. Stanley had him on a little on edge. It's me. Oh no, it's me! It was Shizuo! Damn it! Kano thought he did not have time for this right now. But if he just hung up, he might be in even deeper hot water. Kano. He better listen to what the old man had to say. Yeah, we gotta listen. We can't hang up on him. Kano decided he better listen to what the old man had to say. Hello, sir. I'm afraid I'm not really at liberty to take a personal call right now, even if it is from my father-in-law. He did his best to sound apologetic. I am not your father-in-law! Yes, of course. Sorry, sir. He bowed his head reflexively, feeling like an idiot. You really don't give a damn about keeping me waiting like this, do you? Sir, I swear to you, I feel terrible. Please, I just... Flustered, he took a deep breath and recomposed himself. I promise you, sir! I promise I'll be there. If you can just wait a little while... Don't make promises you can't keep! Shizuo's barking rebuke made Kano break out in a sweat. You think I'm gonna let you off the hook just because you're working a case? This is exactly why I don't want my daughter with some detective! Great, another angry tirade. But didn't you used to be a detective, sir? Kano muttered. You watch yourself, you little brat! It's not enough that you keep calling me your father-in-law. Now you have to bring that up? Evidently, Kano had touched a raw nerve. Ever have a dentist hit a nerve while drilling a tooth? That's where this expression comes from. Thank you. It seemed like anything he said only made matters worse. Well, you're not off the hook, Shizuo continued. I am never letting my daughter marry the likes of you. His fury hitting its crescendo, Shizuo promptly hung up. Why on earth did Shizuo hold such intense malice toward a police detective when he'd been one himself? Kano had become a detective for Rumi's sake in the first place, and that was the biggest thing holding him back. Hey, come on, let's go. Stanley's voice snapped Kano out of his daze. Grimly, he followed the American and back to the car. Yet again, Stanley was thumping the steering wheel in frustration. Traffic hadn't let up one bit. It was starting to look like they might never make it to the Foreign Syndicate's hideout. Kano caught sight of a girl in a hoodie, waving her way between the stopped cars on the road. On foot, he rolled down the window and called out to her. Miku Morita was a fighter at the Cosplay Fighting Club Bride, but just decided to retire after losing to Tama the cat in a street fight. She's now thinking about what to do with herself now. Excuse me, miss? Did something happen? Huh? What do you mean? With the road, I mean. What's with all the traffic? Oh, right. Apparently there was some big accident over by the train station. That's probably what's causing it. Really? Yeah, I don't think you guys are going to be going anywhere for quite a while. She smiled and went on her way. Stanley gave the steering wheel another punch. Well, I guess they did say this wasn't just some typical ransom case, he muttered. Kano saw an opportunity. If they're not after the money, then what are they after? Stanley kept his eyes forward, acting as if he hadn't heard. Look, Kano said, I can't help you if you keep me out of the loop. After a few moments of thought, Stanley replied with a single monosyllable. Drugs. What? Maria's father, Kenji Osawa. I assume you're aware he works for Okoshi Pharmaceutical? I am. Nothing's been made public yet, but Osawa recently has oversaw the development of a new drug. I want a new drug. Actually, it is not at all uncommon for a new drug to be in development for 15 years or more, with expenses totaling 20 to 30 billion yen, roughly 200 to 300 million US dollars, before it is approved. Worldwide demand and sensational profits can be expected if a groundbreaking medicine is developed. Nonetheless, pharmaceutical companies are often under major pressure due to the tremendous costs of labor and equipment. Someone is trying to get their hands on it. Kano's mind latched onto this new information, trying to assemble the pieces of an evolving puzzle. Someone? Who? An international criminal mastermind. This foreign syndicate is merely a tool in someone else's game. Kano regarded Stanley's face carefully. He looked more cold and serious than ever. So wait, does that mean that the reason we're letting the syndicate walk around unfettered is on my orders? Yes. I see. So the only thing you're really concerned with is catching this international mastermind? Precisely. Kano felt like he was starting to get a picture of what sort of person Stanley was. So you don't really care about what happens to the girl who's been abducted, do you? Not particularly, no. Why? Do you have a problem with that? Kano clenched his fist. His hand was shaking with anger. Is this dick dictum number 1? Dick dictum number 8. Oh, when you really want to punch someone, you really probably shouldn't. Okay. Sensible. Kano recited the words inwardly like some sort of desperate mantra. If he didn't manage to calm himself down, he was liable to slam his fist right into Stanley's face. Outside the car, the traffic remained at a standstill. Kano chafed against a feeling of utter futility. One after another, his uncertainties came to nag at him. Was Maria still safe? What had happened to Hitomi and Tatano, her bodyguard? And now, on top of all this, it struck Kano as rather careless to send Sasayama away with Al-Karawan without any backup. Now that Jack had alerted him to the presence of a dangerous international mastermind, still on the loose. Fighting back his fit of pique, Kano got out his cell phone. Fit of pique, to do something impulsively out of irritation, resentment, or the like, similar to do something in a huff. Thank you. He dialed up Sasayama. So, we don't call Kajiwara, we call Sasayama. He dialed up Sasayama. Oops. He wanted to make sure his partner had gotten Al-Karawan back to the precinct safely. Sasayama picked up almost right away. Kano, what's up? How are things on your end? Any problems getting Al-Karawan back? Yeah, I got Tatano taking care of him. Wait, what? Kano could hardly believe his ears. You were in touch with Tatano? He asked. He could hear the shock in his own voice. Yeah. Just bumped into him over by the precinct a little while ago. Then he is safe. Kano felt a surge of relief. What about Hitomi then? Stanley glanced over at him, curious. Tatano says he lost track of her somehow. And then he got called back to the precinct, apparently. Tatano had lost track of her? That's not like him, Kano thought. Since he was heading back there anyway. I handed our guy over to him, Sasayama said. I see. Kano was glad to hear that Tatano was all right, but his relief was tempered by a surge of anger. The thought of what had happened to Hitomi. Now I'm back to tailing the attaché case, Sasayama continued. Today's my wife's birthday, you know. My plan is to wrap this thing up ASAP so we can celebrate tonight. I've already got a present and everything. I envy you, man. Closing his eyes, Kano took a moment to picture Rumi. But Shizuo's face popped into his mind's eye right alongside her. Well, just hang in there, buddy, even if your girlfriend is just a picture of Masami Nagahama. Midoriyama Academy graduate and national celebrity. Her popularity shows no sign of slowing down after she played the female lead in such films as The Beast That Hoarded Gold at the Heart of the World and The Swidden Fortress. Like the Hidden Fortress. There is another nationally famous actress with the same name, but it is a nationally known fact the two are completely separate people. That's so weird. Still snickering, Sasayama hung up. Kano bit his lip and slipped his phone back into his pocket. So weird. At long last, traffic began to move again. Almost as soon as it did, however, Stanley had to slam the brakes. The abrupt stop made Kano smack his head against the windshield. Hey, what gives? Look, Stanley said. He gestured with his chin. Kano couldn't believe his eyes. There, walking along the sidewalk ahead, was Al-Karawan, very much not in custody. What the hell? Kano shouted, already hopping out of the car. Stanley was right behind him. They crept up on their target as silently as possible, then rushed him once they were close. In a moment, they had subdued him. Kano used his body weight to hold Alcarawan down. "What are you doing out here?" he demanded. "Well, hey, I guess you didn't get the memo, huh?" Alcarawan flashed a quiet grin. "They let me go." "Let you go?" "I think your buddy here might have hearing problems," Alcarawan said to Stanley. "I'm a free man." Kano turned and glared at Stanley. "What is he talking about?" "No idea. First things first. Get this guy back to the precinct. I'll head to the syndicate hangout by myself." "You don't think this is weird?" Kano asked. "I mean, what the heck is this guy doing on the loose again?" "What matters is that he is free. Maybe he's telling the truth about being let go." "But that's ridiculous!" "Then I guess he must have escaped on his own," Stanley replied. "In either case, your buddy screwed up, royally. Now it's on you to unscrew things." None of this sat right with Kano, but the fact remained that he couldn't just let Alcarawan go. He gave Stanley detailed directions to the hangout, and the car sped away towards Yoyogi. Then Kano headed back to the precinct with his captive, trying to reassure himself that he might learn something from questioning Alcarawan that would help resolve the case. I feel like this is not going to end well. Oh no. Kano sat opposite Alcarawan in the interrogation room. He'd been attempting to interview the suspect for about a quarter of an hour. Yeah, this is a bad end. Alcarawan sat ramrod stiff, not responding to any prompts or questions. "What time is it right now?" he asked. They'd taken away his watch, his wallet, a small knife, and his keychain. This was the third time he'd asked to know the time. "Why are you so concerned with what time it is?" Kano asked. Alcarawan gave no reply. "Are you waiting on something?" Again, the suspect was staunchly silent. Kano wasn't sure what to make of this, but he took a look at his watch. "It's around 2 o'clock, he said. "What time exactly?" "It's 2:18. 2:18 in how many seconds?" "Look, just cut the crap!" Kano grabbed the prisoner by the collar. "What the hell are you people after?" Alcarawan merely repeated his question. "What time is it right now?" With a growl of aggravation, Kano shoved his rich wristwatch in Alcarawan's face. "Ah, it's 2:20, Alcarawan said. "Okay then, I should do it." "What? What does that mean?" The interrogation went on for several more hours. Despite Kano's best efforts, however, Alcarawan said nothing more. During all that time, the case continued to develop in unexpected ways. But Kano, stuck in the interrogation room, knew nothing about it till everything was already over and done. Bad end. Yep, there we go. Yep. Shock. Number 26, questioning Alcarawan. Well, Kano performed admirably in recapturing Tariq Alcarawan. Ironically, his action actually disrupted the investigation. Maybe letting the syndicate run free for the time being really was the right call. Someone can do something at 1340 that throws a wrench into Kano's activities. Thanks to the involvement of unrelated parties, and Kano's reaction will make the investigation play out differently. 1340, eh? Alright. Well, Achi is different now. It's interesting. But I'm wondering if it's... Oh, we're back to Osawa being kept out. Interesting. Alright, I guess we just got Achi. Alright. Sealed in. Alright, I think we should be on our way. We get his feet when he heard voices outside. So is this different now? Is Tanaka not unable to respond for whatever reason? Let's see. So, I'm guessing this means it's not going to end in a bad end now. Let's see, get someone on the outside to help us. Is he going to do the call to Susumu or what? Oh! Oh, it's different. Oh, that's... Oh, Hitomi Chirp. That's me. She took a look at the LCD display. Is it Tanaka? It's an email from Mr. Tanaka. Oh, okay. Hitomi began typing out a response with practiced ease. What did we do that changed Tanaka? I don't get it. More wild delusions rose in Achi's mind. Ideas are fantasies conjured up in one's mind with no logical or factual basis. People can become deluded for varying reasons about a whole host of different subjects. Thankfully, Achi's delusions here are of an ultimately harmless sort. Oh no, I love it! It's Tanaka. Taking a quick glance at Hitomi, he noticed her gazing happily at her phone screen. His delusions ran even more wild. That's incredible. While he was still fretting furiously, Hitomi finished typing her response. So, what did you wind up saying? Hachi asked. I explained the situation. They were trapped in a storeroom. You've got some guys chasing after you, and you're looking for some van? Yes. I also asked him to please keep this a secret from my family and the police, which he hasn't done. Whoever this Tanaka guy was, he told me, sure seemed to put a lot of trust in him. A short while later, Hitomi's phone chimed with a reply. She checked the screen in a flash, all eagerness. What's this Tanaka guy have to say, or did his almost... I didn't notice. Let's see. Yeah. Achi couldn't help but ask. So, what's that Tanaka guy have to say? A hint of jealousy slipped into his voice. He says he's gonna try to find the minivan for us. Huh? If he just comes and lets us out, I can go look for it myself. He says he wants us to hide out here a little longer. What the hell? Seriously? He says that if someone's after me, it's safer to stay where we are. Yeah, I'm out of the running, Archie thought to himself. This Tanaka was pretty clearly concerned for her, and there was really only one reason a middle-aged man would think like that. Alright, fine, we'll wait. I love that he thinks that this girl who's like, what, 18 or 19? Has like a guy who's near 40 romantically involved with her. Achi turned his own phone off and slumped back in a huff. After 20 more minutes in the storeroom, the two were sitting in silence. Achi had run out of things to talk about. Do you think we'll ever be friends again? You'll ever be friends again? Oh. You and that one guy? Susumu? I think it was? Hitomi's question caught Achi off guard. He stammered, unsure how to respond. Hitomi shook her head. I'm so sorry. I barely know you. That was insensitive of me. No, it's all right. I mean, sometimes I wish things could go back to the way they used to be, Achi said. He let out a tiny sigh. What that Kiryu guy said was the truth. I was the guy who founded SOS. Do you know what I mean by that? Hitomi gave a slight nod. I mean, I never wanted to be in charge of a gang or anything, but I knew that if I left, SOS would just fall apart. And I didn't want anyone else to get caught up over who would take my place, you know? So I thought long and hard about it, looking for a way for folks to stay friends even after I was gone. A loud voice echoed through the pool hall that served as SOS HQ. An establishment for playing pool, or formerly known as pocket billiards, this particular place is a pool bar, serving alcohol. Standard pool table is rectangular in shape, supports 6 pockets, 4 on the corners and 1 in the middle of each long side, and supports multiple games, including 9-ball, 8-ball, and rotation. There are also tables without pockets. The style is known as carom billiards. Great. What do you mean you're leaving? Susumu was positively red in the face. You're our founder, Achi! You can't just up and quit! Susumu had almost been like a younger brother to Achi. If anyone was going to try to stop him, Achi knew full well it would be Susumu. Look, I'm not gang leader material. All I've been trying to do is make sure we're all able to have fun. That's not true! Susumu said. Think about all the stuff you taught us! Don't you remember? Every man gets to make one request in his life that cannot be denied. Those are your words, Achi. Did I say that? It's the heaviest thing you've ever said. Then to Achi's consternation, Susumu got down on his hands and knees. I'm begging you! Please don't leave! Without you, SOS is nothing! Achi could feel his conviction waver. I'm begging you here! From one man to another! This is my one request! Susumu, I'm sorry. Hachi could barely croak out the words. I'm leaving you in charge. You can't! Susumu pleaded. Please don't say that! Hachi turned his back to him in silence. Please, Hachi! Why won't you listen? I can't possibly beg any harder than this! Enough with all the request nonsense. Hachi grimaced. What? Look at you. Down on your hands and knees like that. Pathetic. Pathetic ultimately stems from the Greek pathetikos, meaning subject to feeling, or capable of emotion. Over time, the meaning changed to signify exciting the passions, and later on to the more modern sense of arousing one's pity. Hachi spoke as harshly as he could, fighting to mask his true feelings. I'm fed up with you. All of you! With each word out of his mouth, Hachi could feel his own heart breaking. But if he could make the others hate him, at least it would give SOS a reason to stay together. How can you say that? Don't you try and pull that crap! Susumu's tone had changed from sadness to anger. Fine then! He railed. I'm never asking you for anything again! I'll do what you want! I'll take the reins of SOS! Hachi walked away, waving vaguely without looking back. Good luck. I mean it. Once he'd stepped out of the pool hall, he wiped his sleeve across his face. Came away, wet with tears. Sometimes I think that maybe I could apologize to those guys and we could go back to the good old days again. But that's never going to happen. Not unless Suzune gets better. He stared into the distance at nothing in particular. At least he'd sorted out how he felt about his former pals. Is there nothing that can help your sister? Tomi asked. She needs a heart transplant. The problem with heart transplants is that the timing is tricky. A heart transplant. Oh boy. The act of surgically implanting one person's heart into another's body. Such an operation is typically only performed on a patient with severe heart disease who cannot survive without a new heart. There are strict requirements that must be met before a heart can be transplanted. However, chief among them, that the donor must first be brain dead. Even if there's a donor available, the transplant has to be performed within 4 hours, or things get dicey. Because lack of oxygen causes damage referred to as warm ischemia damage, in any organ removed from a human body, a transplant must be carried out and blood circulation restored within a certain time window, known as the total ischemic time. In the case of a heart transplant, total ischemic time is only 4 hours. Helicopters and charter jets are frequently used to rapidly transport hearts for such operations. Oh wow, I didn't realize. Someone with a heart that's a match for Suzune would need to die somewhere near her, somewhere they could perform the surgery within that 4-hour window. The odds of that happening are so small it would almost be a miracle, which is what my sister's been waiting for. Hachi thumped the left side of his chest. If my heart would do the trick, I'd gladly let her have it. Damn it. I got a strong heart, too. He thumped himself in the chest again and again. He didn't mention it to Hitomi, but Suzune's blood type made finding her a heart transplant even more difficult. She had Bombay blood, a type of blood that does not correspond to the more common types of A, B, O, or AB. In some instances, the standard blood typing yields a result of O in such individuals. First discovered in the city of Bombay, now Mumbai, on India's west coast, the blood type takes its name from that city due to its relatively high incidence rate amongst the inhabitants. It was one of the rarest blood types in the world. Apparently, there were only a few dozen people in all of Japan who had it. Rare blood types such as Bombay are scarce enough that even nationwide blood centers seldom have them in sufficient supply. For this reason, when such blood types are discovered in everyday testing, samples are quickly taken to be frozen and stored at temperatures lower than 80 degrees below centigrade. If Suzune were ever to receive a heart transplant, it would need to be someone who also had Bombay blood. Hachi? Hitomi sounded like she was on the verge of tears. Wow, she must really feel bad for Suzune. If you did manage to find a heart for your sister, what would you do? What do you mean? Say if you happened across someone who was a donor match. would do anything. Anything? Yeah, whatever it took. I'd risk my own life if it meant helping Suzune. I mean, at that point, I'd assume God had granted me a miracle or something, you know? Mr. Tanaka? Unfortunately for those two, it's not Mr. Tanaka. Right now, Tanaka is at the Osawa residence on his way to speak with Kenji Osawa, who's washing dishes after lunch. Oh, that's gonna break the keep out. Let's break the keep out. Let's break that keep out. We'll leave that in suspense. What? Oh. Director, if you have a moment. Tanaka poked his head into the kitchen. I've got something urgent to discuss with you. Yes, of course. Osawa took the bug tracker from his pocket and handed it back to Kajiwara. I won't be needing this anymore. So creepy. As soon as they'd left the kitchen, Tanaka leaned in close and whispered to him. I got an email from Hitome. He showed his cell phone to Osawa. It looks like my sister is being held captive in a blue minivan somewhere in Shibuya. That man is still chasing me, so I can't really go looking for it. A blue minivan? Allow me to handle this, sir. I'll figure something out. Osawa knew he trusted Tanaka for a reason. Thank you, he said with a bow. Oh, you wouldn't happen to know any place she might have gone, do you, sir? What? It's just that all she's told me is that she's moving around. I'm sorry, I don't really have any idea, Osawa replied. He was ashamed to say it. There wasn't a single place he knew of where his daughter might be inclined to go. Ah, I see. Tanaka, picking up on his discomfort, was visibly embarrassed himself. He hastened to change the subject. By the way, how did your talk with Mr. Makino go? I confirmed that he was behind the human testing, but I don't know who sent me those emails. Tanaka paused for a moment and thought, looking like he might have a hunch. Alright then, he said. We'll have to talk in more detail later. With that, the assistant director headed for the front door. Mr. Osawa? Kajiwara spoke from the kitchen door. Peeping in on me again, huh? Osawa grumbled. Thankfully, it didn't appear that the detective had overheard his conversation with Tanaka. And good grief, that thing is noisy. If it's broken, why don't you just throw it out? The sounds from the bug tracker grew fainter and fainter. Something wasn't right, Osawa now realized. Tanaka has the bug on him. Oh boy. Mr. Osawa, Kajiwara said, this is my bug tracker. So? Osawa huffed. What I mean is, sir, this one isn't broken. Ooh. What? What was that? A chill ran up Osawa's spine. He swallowed audibly. I've pinpointed the source of the signal, Kajiwara said. It's coming from Mr. Tanaka. No! Osawa thought. I must have misheard that. Hold on. Say that again? I've located the source of the signal. It's coming from Mr. Tanaka. The detective repeated. This music, what in the world? This time Osawa heard him crystal clear. I'm certain of it. Mr. Tanaka has a listening device on him. Osawa felt the blood draining from his face. If someone had been listening in on the conversation just now, then they'd heard about the email from Hitome. If the kidnappers were the ones listening, that meant Maria's life was now in danger. I'll go after him, sir! Kajiwara broke into a sprint. Osawa followed close behind. Oh, wow. Is this to be continued? Oh, it is! Wild. Okay. You know, that's as good as time as any to close for tonight, because we're at the end of a story. I'd rather, like, not start a story if we only have 10 minutes to do. So, we have Kano and Achi left. Everyone else... Oh, no, and Tama. So, Osawa's done, Minorikawa is done. So, Kano, Achi, and Tama we have left. So, we're going to do them, and I think, quite possibly, we'll finally get to see what Tama looks like next time. Alright. See you then. Next time, same place, next Saturday. All right, bye.